it's something else. It's all that's on my mind. It's something I can't seem to place, yet always seem to find. And I'm a flawed and shallow man, a piece of shit for life. But even I can't take away from the things that I do right. I can move mountains with my bare hands, bare hands. Sing to my demons, just a couple rhymes that I write. I'm not worried about their plans, their plans. 'Cause I know in the end, dum dum da dum da dum dum. I did it with mine, did it with mine. Da dum dum da dum dum. I did it with mine, did it with mine. Dum dum da dum da dum dum. I did it with mine, did it with mine. I did it with my bare hands. Spend a lot of time thinking, trying to keep my ship afloat, there's no sinking. Eyes wide open, no blinking, I'ma spread my wings, but I won't wing it yet. This is something that I'm new to, it's not something that I'm used to. Hard to be the 4-3-2, want to see things through when they see right through you. Still I move mountains with my bare hands, bare hands. Sing to my demons, just a couple rhymes that I write. I'm not worried about their plans, their plans. 'Cause I know in the end, move mountains with my bare hands. Sing to my demons, just a couple rhymes that I write. Not worried about their plans, 'cause I know in the end.
Good evening, Club Cult. And pull us out of purgatory. And welcome, you beautiful biscuits. I hope everyone's had a beautiful Tuesday. And welcome. Let's hop into the Discord right quick. We'll pull up the baby cam. Do some recaps. And then hang out with some cats. Because that's what we do. And try giving the babies some wet food tonight. On stream. They're gonna get it anyway, but we'll try. Oh, that's crooked. Like, just slightly. That's maybe better. Minusculely. Welcome, Diplo. And welcome, Robert. You bebs pop into... Oops. Discord, please do not forget to green check them their rules so that I can reel you in offline. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm aggressive with my mouse tonight. Jeez. I don't understand. I accept it, but I don't understand it. See if the babies are sleeping or being wild. It's a 50-50 shot. Why? Not the same connection. Yes, you are. We've had this conversation before. How did I fix it before? I just turned off the Wi-Fi for a minute, I think. My pretzel player renewed, so I figured we might as well fuck with it a little bit. We won today. Play again tomorrow.
Could very much be.
See how that goes.
That's going to be an all-in play from Rain, going aggressive with the P2000. No connection with the dual relatives. A USP from Twist holding it together. Finally a swing for Brokey. Leaves it into a 2v3. Brokey looking for much, much more. Deals with the pressure through the cave side. It is all him left on this B side of the map, but he's getting help. Rotation coming through from Frozen quickly in the reposition.
We play again tomorrow, I think at 11.
No idea. Only a matter of time before he's dropped. And Brokey able to deliver in the closing statement.
I don't think I'll be able to watch, but it would be fun to recap.
Negotiations that started a little earlier. If Twist might just this entire time either way, Faye's get to correct what they clearly view to be a bit of an error. Here's a faster play in towards B.
Oh my god, yes, you are on the same connection. Right?
Here rapidly to try and cut this off, and Kerrigan might be a little ahead of schedule. Totally unexpected. Finds the first, maybe not unexpected.
Yes. Do you need an update? Somewhere?
They're burning. It's not so icy at their feet. Two players gone. One limping.
I don't know where anything is on this phone.
There's a wounded Frozen. We need a hero. Quick shot from the one wounded man to the next. And now this retake going off.
Yeah, auto updates everything.
They need them quick. There's the last player spotted. Dowie dancing around.
How do I make you work?
He's got the kill and he's found the kid. It's all good there. Brokey able to seal it on up with another clutch coming through from him to shut things down. 4 plays to SB. Rinse and repeat.
Work the broken way.
The name of the game. This time smokes come out to block the ramp. They still want to go. Another smoke. To make life very difficult. That helps. Kerrigan blindsided through said smoke. And Ray Stone is lonesome for the moment with Twist trying to come into support. They're going to back away. There's still plenty of time. There's a minute. There's just no more real utility here for Inner Circle.
I let's try this. No.
Instead to maybe pick up the decision making, but that's a well placed headshot. Boosted up and so patiently waiting for his time to strike. Now Brokey, the attention's going to be on him, but yeah, ready for the amount of resistance. Walks around the corner.
Why won't you show me what you are?
Holly.
Just realize there's a way that I can pass key entry it.
Circle, showing a lot of
Oh,
patience
say
here.
the pass key.
Down B, but that's a cue. Walk into a very open A bomb site. It's a phase to go ahead and call it a day.
Yeah, I just sets the exit path.
That's different.
Might be trying to make that exit cost a little bit more. And actually, they are going to hunt this up.
May
quite
not
a
be
bit.
able to put up baby cam. Oh, there it goes.
So these guns.
I don't know what I
far
did to
from
fix
safe.
it, but I fixed it. I think.
Face will be conceding their first round.
Take it.
Comes the wrap. Goes in some
I don't know what it is.
to punish the first.
I just pressed random buttons. And it
You
worked.
wanna lose all the bodies yourselves. There's the spot. Frozen is going to make this very expensive indeed. So they might just let him hang on to this.
I think cow is
This is where you can start to see those aggressive takes outside of B main, trying to fight in towards
underneath
the
the
doors, make them a
blanket
little more
again.
uncomfortable. Well, this time at least the
They
bullets
stress me out
go
when they
down
do that.
early. And FaZe want to bring the fight.
Little
Throws around the
stinkers.
edge. In the right way, delivers himself right to his waiting arms. Running out of bullets, but still finding headshots. Swaps to the next, can't get it turned around in time. Still Frozen has done his work.
Everyone's doing so good after the first little shots today.
With his head still
But I have to
intact.
warm her. I have to give them starting
Teammates
tomorrow.
are now on the
Blah.
up, thanks to the strong
Nervous
work
about
of
that.
Frozen.
Right now they're getting a better picture with Kerrigan's aggression.
But number 3 is kind of
That's where this plays
sleepy
Brokey,
after shots. We're gonna have to give her some extra lovins.
he holds the line instead.
Some
and
extra
fights
lovins.
the outplay to head into his crosshair.
Which is not hard to
That
do.
patience
She's
is gonna
cute
be
as fuck.
rewarded. You still have the flank activating.
I think that's what I want. Not gonna be too crazy with cosplay tonight. I don't want to traumatize the babies. Although this is like genius. Because they're gonna get used to seeing many different versions of me, which will hopefully translate to like different people in their head. And then they'll be super socialized. Boy, what are you floofing up my makeup brushes for? I'm blaming you. I don't know if it's you. It's curly hairs. It's probably Salka, actually.
This particular moment, man up, flea racks on the edge of a fading smoke, could be a problem. For a moment, it seems like their focus is back on B here, Cole.
Oh, that makes sense. That lines up with the targets they've been going for. Brokey's up in a position though to deal with the pressure. Waiting for Flea Rex to make a move through Red Room. And Rain in transition. The smoke just since fading. Can you find anything in this off angle? Starting to scale up. They give him a hard clear. Lots of damage done, but no kills converted. Brokey's up. Turns his way, but a bit of a whiff. And now an equalizer found. Frozen. Tie things on up. 2v2. Waiting for this massive flank here. The page from inner circle again. Could pay dividends. Kerrigan. Gonna run around that corner. Beefy. He definitely spotted him. He definitely saw him. The bomb is making a run in towards A. Onyx decides. We'll leave his team in the dust.
I can't remember how pigmented these are.
Okay, yeah.
Not very.
We have a lot of time, we can see with our omniscient view, but there's plenty of time for the reposition.
That one's a little bit.
They get himself up like a tree. Little self boost, hop off this sign. Nice bit of movement there.
It's like a terracotta color.
Just gonna catch one guard. The first one found the right transfer. Beautiful. On it all the way.
It's not exactly what I was going for, but I kind of like it.
Waiting for the reaction. You got utility
I wasn't
still up.
expecting that.
They're gonna swing through this. Utility all coming through in a reaction out of the baseline side. They collapse on middle, but as they're doing so, it's A that's left vulnerable.
What a perfect response, right? Just as that pressure middle play is coming in, now you can section them off. 9 feet getting damage out on force beast. You've got your options open as well. Just the plays in the middle of the map you guys attend with. Right, blinded up, smoked off in the donut. That's the worst kind of donut to eat. A smoky one.
We can do a lot of damage here as well. Depends on how far. Phase one fade away. Right now avoiding his contact so far.
They're either grumpy, cheesy, or silly. There's no in between.
They felt like they knew that mid-aggression, or rather re-aggression, was going to come through.
Blue is so pretty. It's like a mermaid blue. Maybe I just feel that way because it's sparkly. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I don't know what is happening. The boys are going to demand cookies. Testing Pavlov response. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Boya Bean says, "What is happening?" Gunther is just sleepy. Wow, they're proving you wrong. Welcome, Cyogenics. Welcome. Are you bad boys today? Do you think you don't deserve cookies? Wait, you just look pissed. Oh my god. Why do you look so mad? Why? He has grumpy face on. Now you have to do tricks. You got your grumpy face on. Boxes. Boxman! Oh, Slavka's in here. They're grumpy. She's sleeping under the couch, but they're like, "What the hell, Mom? She has invaded my territory." Please! Snackers! We're making good use of these birthday snacks. Yes, we are. Sit. 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 Oh, thank you. Mr. Gunther. Way a Big Bear up. Big Bear up.
The new triumvirate taking shape in this phase clan. That's the best part. Now he punches the cashier. But 20 can be made. 1, 2 double by to make it tricky.
Big Bear up. I don't know if he'll, that's vulnerable. I don't know if he'll do it in front of her. Up, up. You can do it. She's not going to give you raspberries on your belly. Oh, you dropped it. Okay, good attempt. GG's. Now say thank you. Say thank you. I need this light on. Turning it on to remind me. Say thank you. Meow.
So sure, yeah, all good.
Say thank you. She's like, "Oh god, the lights are so bright over here. They're so bright over here. Why am I on center stage? Why is the spotlight on me? What is happening? Need to lick my mom for comfort. Need to comfort groom." Okay. She became very aware very fast. GG's, my children. She's working on her tan. It's a good time for it. Winter is coming. You gotta keep that baseline color. I don't know, maybe. I get bored tanning. Like, I don't tan anyway. But unless I have a really good book, I can't just lay outside in the sun. It's hot and annoying. I don't know. I'm not a sit by the pool girly. There was 2 summers where my niece and nephew and I did a membership at like the local pool. And that was fun and all. But I was working on all my internet stuff by that point in time. So I could just fuck around on my phone by the pool. I remember my dad's girlfriends always... It makes my dad sound like a playboy. Just had a lot of failed relationships. Sorry, Dad. He doesn't watch my streams. It's okay. I can talk a little bit of shit. It would always lay out and sunbathe. And, you know, monkey see, monkey do. I would try to tag along for it. And I would just get bored. I did the summer that I was reading The Last Kingdom, though. Why is blue so awkwardly pigmented? Is it because I have, like, a peachy skin tone? The way blue Fallout is, like, so intense. So it's, like, the exact opposite. Blue and orange are opposite colors, I think.
Just showing how sharp the mechanics really are.
Maybe?
There's a ton of connection on the kill carry. Working his way up middle again, though.
It's been a long time since I looked at the color wheel.
Saying, hey guys, they're collapsing on me. Their space should be taken elsewhere. Two players.
Baby bath time. I'm gonna try and utilize some of this gold. I don't know how gold this gold is. Doesn't look very gold.
So good in his flanking spots outside of B, right? They just have to put so many resources to just deal with him that it buys a ton of space.
I feel like this palette was made with good intentions, but like not good pigment balance. But it was like a good idea in concept, just like in practice of release. Probably wasn't a good idea. I don't think I ever took color theory, but I think we touched on it in art class, like what the opposites on the wheel are, complementary versus non-complementary, cool and warm colors, blah 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 blah. That. Alright, I gotta darken this blue a little bit. I look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. Or half a Mimi. It's all about me, me, me. Thank you for catching that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. I mush mouth. I wasn't sure how prominent that, Ah! That could have been so bad. How prominent that would have been. I just put my elbow into my coffee cup. Like, dinked my elbow into it. Like, it could have just gone overboard. I have a little bit of coffee left. We're going to finish that and then make some matcha. Some matcha. My matcha turned out good. I'm proud of myself. I just spooned it into a cup and then mixed it. It was fine. I was overthinking it. I reveal my sins in ASMR. That's not how you drink coffee. You're telling me I don't just stick my weenus in and go... What? I've been lied to my entire life. This existence is a sham. It's a lie. It's all a lie. It was a little, I don't want to say crunchy towards the end, but like grainy. But I tried to mix it up good. I feel like a frother, like you mentioned, would be good for that. Whenever someone tells me, oh, I think you'd like this, and I think I actually would enjoy having it in my life, even though it's a novelty, I put it on my wish list. And it's probably like the product is gone by now, but years and years ago, someone told me I would enjoy a coffee frother. Or a milk frother. All frothers are probably created equal. But for making schmancy coffees, and I think there's one on my wish list. But it's been there for a long time.
Comes through with their man down. Obvious space, take it back. It is only frozen to punch back with Vigo. Fights, does get chased down. Takes on the gun, calls it over to the rest of the squad. Low HP. A couple of these individuals are waiting for the Fleer to strike.
My wish list is just all frou-frou la-la stuff that I don't need or could want but wouldn't buy for myself. Anything else I just ask directly for. I need this. I feel like life is simpler that way. Never knew the female weenus was the elbow. No, everyone's elbow is a weenus. Boys and girls. Your elbow is a weenus. I don't know what part of your elbow is the weenus. I think this is the humerus, so I'm guessing this is the weenus, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. Your elbow is your weenus. Can you lick your weenus? I can almost. If my tongue was just a little bit longer. I have like the arm flexibility for it. I just don't have the tongue length. Not quite there. I wonder if I could train myself to do that, like training to do the splits. You just go a little bit further, like every day. I feel like a frother would make a huge mess. I feel like we had like an early version of a frother, although a frother has probably been around forever. When I was younger, my dad was obsessed with Slim Fast milkshakes when they came in powder form. I don't think they sell the flavor that he liked in powder form anymore. and he doesn't like to buy the canned ones that are pre-mixed. But I would use the vanilla one, like for little milky shake things. And this is a long time ago. And we had like, how do I even describe it? Like if a frother and like those things that are on the go smoothie makers, which are kind of a good idea, but also ridiculously stupid. Who's gonna bring like a whole picnic's worth of fruit in their fucking bag and just to, oh, I'm at the park, I'm gonna make a smoothie. No, make it at home before you go. But similar to those, where you would just put the mechanism. This is not a good size comparison. You just put the mechanism into the cup and then press a button when it was fully down, and then it would mix the whole thing. But it wasn't a frother. It was. I think I remember my dad calling it a milkshake maker. I don't know actually what it would be. But I made a big mess with that one the first few times using it. Shh, don't tell my dad. He doesn't know. I cleaned it up fast. Shh, don't tell. Secrets. Secrets. You have to swear to secrecy to swear into club cult. I feel like if someone shows you how to use it, it's a great thing to have. But just learning how to use it raw is a little scary. You're getting catfished by someone pretending to be my dad then, which is a very funny thought. My dad doesn't text, he emails, remember? You got any spam emails from Father TV lately? Oh, I just fucked that right out. GG's. He's old school. The cell phone stays in the car for emergencies only. God. I think he's so stuck on it just being a useless thing to carry around with you versus like a useful thing. Because sometimes when he comes over to do the grass, he's early. Or I'm getting sick or not able to get to the door. And then he like angrily pounds on the door like the police if I don't answer right away. And it would be so helpful if he had a cell phone that he would use and I could just shoot him a text and say, hey dad, I'm getting sick right now. Hold on a minute. Or, hey dad, I'm in the middle of cleaning this up. Give me a few minutes. Or he could even text me and say, hey Serena, I'm going to be early. I'm going to be 15 minutes early today. And you're not going to have any idea. And I'm going to scare the shit out of you. He could do that too. Yeah, so you send him $1,000 to free up his trust. Oh god. That's like one of the worst scams, impersonating people. That happened to my, I think I've told you guys this. That happened to my grandpa where someone impersonated my cousin. And they asked for like $5,000 for bail or something. And my grandpa did it. Which, like, shout out to my grandpa. Like, he's a gangster. My dad wouldn't even do that for me. And he spawned me. I don't even think my uncle would do that for my cousin. But shout out to grandpa. But it went to a nefarious human being instead, unfortunately. And that's when grandpa got himself a conservatorship for Easter. That was problematic. I don't know, I'm like so sad that he got bamboozled. But, and he got his money back, thankfully. But I'm also like so proud of like, man, if I ever really got into trouble, you would have really been there for me. Like, whole new love and aspiration. Gonna start leaving a sticky note on his gravestone, updated every couple of months. Would always bail you out if needed. Scammers are scum. That's the lowest form of scamming and pimping are the lowest form, and animal breeding are the lowest forms of attempting to make an income. You might be making a living, but you're ruining lives. Those three things should be beyond, like, they are illegal, but beyond illegal. Breeding should be illegal. Ha ha ha, I saw the best thing ever, and I'm so tempted to do this. I don't know if I saved it on my phone. I don't know if I saved it on a social media. I don't know where I saved it. That's kid vomit. That's cats. That's memes. That's this. That's that. No, I didn't save it. What social media did I see it on? Was it Twitter? I feel like it was Twitter. Is it in my bookmarks? I want to do this. If I can find it. I can describe it, but visually it would be better. Not there. Instagram? Maybe. Maybe. How do you look at your saved post on Instagram? Settings and activity? Save. I did not save it? Why would I not have saved this? Oh, yes I did. It just makes me happy. Here lies a human who dumped pets. And the second sign says, breeders, you're next. I want to do that so bad, but then I think I will be the like official neighborhood crazy animal lady. It's 2 cat traps put together, which I have 2 broken cat traps. I want to do it so bad, but I feel like that's like not appropriate for children to see. But like, I wouldn't forget that if I was a kid either. But like, it's a little bit traumatic. But like, here lies a human who dumped their pets. Breeders, you're next. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to do it. But I don't know if I should. I don't wanna. Or I do wanna. But I don't want to, like, traumatize any children. If I knew there's only going to be adults driving around, I would absolutely do it. But I don't want to traumatize any children.
Not gonna happen.
It's Halloween! I know, I could do it. I don't want to... It would be the only thing I would put up for Halloween decor outside. Did I tell you about Ringo's cousin, the cow? My neighbors down the street have, like, this UFO blow-up thing. And it has a cow, like, floating up, like, on a fishing line inside of it. And every time Ringo and I walk by it, he looks at it funny. I'm like, that's your cousin. You better behave. If I had other decorations, it could go under the radar, but that would literally be the only thing that I would want to put up. The past few years, I just decorate in my head. I don't have the energy to decorate outside. But I would make the energy for that. Even if it killed me, I'll put myself in the carriers. Oh wait, but I didn't do those bad things though. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I thought that was such a good idea though. I saw it and I went, haha, like I did. I pulled it up. I love Halloween, but I'm terrible about taking decorations down. I'm still debating if we're going to decorate in here. I feel like it's dumb not to, but it also might be dumb too, because it's a lot of stuff. I don't know. But my problem with Halloween stuff is I want to leave it up all year round then. Christmas stuff I'm ready to take down at some point. Halloween stuff, I never want to take down. I love it. I want to live in it.
This map of Nuke has been all his. Now in a circle, trying to find some sort of a dent to make. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yes, that's right.
Just pass. Okay, there's no one here.
The dedicated cosplayers holiday. That is for sure.
Narrative momentum behind them.
And trick-or-treating as a youngster, you'd go, but you didn't really care about the candy. What was your favorite part then? The dressing up? What was your favorite costume that you wear when you were a kid? Or the weirdest? I want to know favorite and weirdest. Because I have a weird one. Kind of. Well, that's what we did last year. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Kind of. We just made Christmas and Halloween the same thing. Just like hanging out with friends. Aww. That's cute.
his numbers are phased.
It's the winner efforts. That's all they've got to try and keep this road, this upset story going, and Kerrigan looks to deny.
I always like the hearing, and you must be, and someone knowing the creature that I am
Gotta be picked up at
versus
3, 4 tickets
what
to
are
fly.
you?
Little options left.
and getting the candy. Favorite was a Grim Reaper thing. It was tough breathing and seeing through the mask though. Oh, was it like the Scream mask with the blood going through it, or like straight up Grim Reaper?
This might just be on the table for Inner Circle. They're not done yet.
That one's creepy cool. I feel like that shouldn't be for little kids. My nephew did I think in like 2nd grade, they did a little Halloween walk around outside in the school courtyard, and one of the kids was a little Grim Reaper. And it was like, you look scary, like you're just a little guy and you look terrifying.
Oh, he just missed it right there, trying to land on top of the silo.
Grim Reaper, I bet you were so scary,
Classic rookie fashion.
so spooky.
Gonna finish with a bit of a try.
But yeah, that probably was hard to breathe out of.
Sonny is alive on nuke.
You're brave. I would have freaked out.
Gary takes the space once again. It works next.
His laugh was fantastic.
He's that deep offset. He can become vulnerable so quickly. He'll be bypassed. How his red teammates could be cut off. His mid teammates certainly cut off here.
Skadorable.
Step headshot. At 45.
So prepared for that fight.
I feel like that works better on paper than when it comes out of my mouth.
In perilous place. This could be all. Gravity allowed them an extra round, but now it all falls to Knifey. He's trying to save his team, trying to catch this, but he has Brady off. A shot missed.
It was spooktacular.
20 seconds.
It was.
Just not enough. Has to wait for his vision to clear. Brave the flames. Brave 3 crosshairs, and there's no world.
I'm trying to think of more combinations of spooky and cute words.
The last ride continues here at the ESL Pro League as they triumph in 2.
We did good. I'm so curious what the strangest might be. So curious. So curious. Oh, I forgot. Goofy. I'm gonna do a little heart. I think my glasses will cover it up, but yeah. My coolest one ever that I was the most proud of was when I made my Silent Hill nurse cosplay. Cosplay. And that was in like 8th grade. And I did it all myself. I dyed like old fabric and coffee and tea so it looked like dirty and dingy and nasty, and I did like the not latex but Elmer's glue and toilet paper on your face which is a little bit more painful to peel off than latex, I learned later that night, to do all of like the scariness, and oh, it came out so good. I wish like I would have taken more pictures then. Oh my god. I have one picture of it, and I think it was from my old Facebook. I don't have access to it anymore. As an adult, you went as Walter White in whitey tighties and an apron and mask. That's awesome. I like that. That can qualify as strange. My weirdest one was one year, I was probably like 7 or 8. I decided I wanted to be a bride for Halloween. So my grandma got me like this veiled, like from Goodwill, it's not like super expensive, this like veiled communion outfit. And I was a bride for Halloween. I got made fun of so bad at school. I got roasted on the bus. Roasted on the ride home because you can't wear your costumes to school, but you change into them at a certain point like during the day. I got roasted. I got made fun of so bad. I thought it was like, I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to be a bride for Halloween, but I did. I looked really cute. But no one understood. Like, even my friends made fun of me. It was bad. I was so cute. I was heckin' adorable. I looked like a proper little flower girl thing. I don't know. It was really, really cute, but I got made fun of so bad. Because, like, who the fuck dresses up as a bride for Halloween? Like, you're not a zombie. You're not, like, Bride of Frankenstein. Like, you're nothing scary. You're cosplaying as an older woman. I don't know. We have so much Mexican, Hispanic, Latin culture around here, and I love seeing the quinceanera dresses, all the fancy church, whatever thing dresses. Oh my god, I love to see it. They're all so elaborate. There's so many little like hole-in-the-wall dress shops, and they have these elaborate displays, and oh my god. They're so cute. They make me want to be a princess for a day. And that's pretty hard to do. But they're very elaborately gorgeous. Like the Americanized like communion dresses are very like prim, proper. There's no shape to it really. It's not fancy. No, that's for your brother. He threw up on his other one. That's for your brother. Stop it. Gunther's scratching on the scratch pad. That's for Tank. It's for your brother. A deeper level, you're scary as a bride. A lot of people afraid of commitment. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. That one right there. I like that one. That one exactly. That's why. That's exactly why. There's no other possible reason. None. Oh my god. Ow. None other. I'm going to animals, aquariums, and zoos. Us. Heard cow. I don't know where cow went earlier. It was such a cute costume. And, I got roasted. That's okay. I bear no ill will. I now look back and see the ridiculousness of my ways. Daisy, Daisy, give your answer to little Daisy Duke. Daisy Duke, Mary Moo Cow, whatever she wants to be. Where am I going here? That one. Animals, aquariums, and zoos. Animals, aquariums, and zoos. So I think officially we have Stripes, Daisy, and Nibbler. We're gonna do Nibbler for number 3. The little babies. Little babitos. I love them. Okay. That's happy with me. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I don't know why I keep calling her Mary Moo Cow though. I think just because cow, like son, ma'am, girl, that is not your name. It is not your name. Alright, we go put these away. Boop. Recycle this. I gotta pick up more meds for you tomorrow, Gunther. Refill your cyclosporine. Yes, that is the correct thing. It said the dosage when I called to have it refilled today, and I was like, yes? But I didn't know exactly if that's what it was. Which one of these is the most slight? But I'm not done. I'm almost done. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But right now they're all in intake in the rescue as Midge. For Mom. Cow/Daisy is Lori. And the other two, it really doesn't matter which, are Jackie and Donna. But moving my mirror while I'm doing this is making me do a crooked bro. This lip gloss smells so good. I don't even know how to describe how good it smells. My dad's ex-girlfriend that he had when I was in like preschool through like, I don't know, age 10 or 11, she had a lip product that smelled just like this, and it's so good. It's so good. In every I almost said every flavor. Every color of this smells the same. I don't know why it wouldn't, but you know. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the cult. It is whatever you want it to be, baby. It is a choose your own adventure, and thank you for taking the time to be here tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. And welcome, Mr. Bean. What are you doing with your life over here? You don't know. You don't know. Would you like to help me put away some cans? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Says, no, I just want to do desk takeover, Mom. That is my main mission and goal in life. Take over the desk. One day, the desk. The next day, the world! I mean, he doesn't say words either. He can be both. He's Mr. Bean and Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean! Oh, I have lipstick on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna eat your ear. I love you. I didn't mean to put lipstick on your ear. I'm sorry. I didn't think that through. It's only the second time in my life I've color marked the cats, I think. When I was dyeing my ex-girlfriend's hair purple, and I was like, I don't know, 17 or 18, I had my white cat Bunny, and some of the purple blooped onto the end of her tail. Thankfully, that dye is like just vegetable dye, so it's animal safe. I've used it on Pippi before, but I didn't know this then, and I freaked out. But Bunny had a purple end of her tail for a good couple of months while it grew out. Whoops. I'm surprised that my brain has let me go this long without giving Chauncey a big lipstick kiss in the middle of his forehead. White cat is begging to be dyed like a blank canvas. Kind of. She was such a good girl. She was a good girl for baths. There's a cat that looked just like her at Nas today when I was there with the babies. I was like, hello, friend. And doing slow blinkies with her. I fell in love with the cat that's there. Like, full on fell in love. Like, cannot stop thinking about. I said hi to so many cats, but I fell in love with this one. I have a problem. So later this week, whenever I have to run errands again, I'm going to sponsor his adoption. I'm going to go back and do that. I was too frazzled with, like, baby stuff to think about it today. I asked about it, but, like, I got out of there and I was like, I didn't do anything that I wanted to do. I'm going to sponsor his adoption and see what his, I don't know, like, monthly care is. He's FIV positive and he has urinary issues. So he has to be on a special diet. He's 5 years old. He's just a little guy. Just a little guy. If he's still at the rescue when the babies get adopted and hopefully Void gets adopted, I'd like to foster him next. I know I said I wanted to do babies, but he just wants a lap. I love him. I fell in love with him. He's so cute. He's so cute. Let me find his pet finder thing. Then we'll bebop on to zoo stuff. Did I really close out of that? Like, just like a little fuck you Counter-Strike? Good job, Serena. Oh, he 100% sounds like a foster fail in the making. And I expect that. He's gotten passed over for like the last 2 years. So I think he would just be a permanent... I think he would be a foster to adopt, honestly. Let me see if I can find him. I was able to find him on my phone. Because I was curious of more of his backstory. You know what I found that's really cool is you can... Most times, in my experience now, you can just Google a pet's name and the rescue that they're at. And you'll be able to find their pet finder profile. This guy's name is Zeke. I'm so sad though. His intake pictures are so much more happy than like how he looked today. He just looked like kind of was giving up today. I'd like to go back and see him like every week and give him some love and time. He looks so happy there. All of the black cats loved me today. I think Void has rubbed off on me. Isn't he so cute? I fell in love with him. I fell in love with him so hard. But he's special needs because he's FIV. This handsome boy is Zeke. He's a 4-year-old male that was rescued from an animal control in southern Illinois. He made the long transport north to find people that will love and cherish him forever. Zeke is, see, this was last updated last year because he was intake in 2024. Zeke is incredibly sweet and loving. He wants attention and love from people all the time. If given the chance, he'll crawl into your lap and make himself comfortable. He's going to be a great companion kitty. Zeke is FIV positive. He will need to be the only cat in a home, which is what they say when cats are FIV positive, because most people aren't very educated on FIV and they're just trying to rule out potentially uneducated adopters. There with that. Live with other FIV positive cats. Or possibly live with non-aggressive cats. He came to NAS with some urinary issues and was diagnosed with flooded feline lower urinary tract disease, which often, like, weird fact but fun fact, but like super not a fun fact. Most cats that have that end up having to have their penis like shortened and cauterized to prevent more blockages. Fun fact. That's not a fun fact. I'm sure that made everyone's pants region go, sorry. To prevent symptoms and issues, he needs to be on a prescription of UA food, so urinary food. He's hoping to find a compassionate and loving adopter that recognizes his worth. He will be undoubtedly grateful and devoted companion and appreciative of your care. So I didn't know that through here, like through Pet Finder, you can sponsor through the rescue too, but I'm going to go back there and I want to spend some time with him for just a little bit. And if all I can get, I really don't have space in my house right now. If all I can do is give him some of my time, that's more time that he's getting. I don't know. He looked kind of shut down today. I don't want him to give up. Like, you gotta be really cute. You gotta make people want you. Come on. You can do it. Yeah. A little weird, a little gross. Something a lot of people don't talk about. Like, kind of like spay abort. But yeah, most cats that have feline lower, what was it? Flutted. No one else calls it flooded. FLUTD. Feline lower urinary tract disease. Most times they'll have enough blockages to where it's just more convenient. Kind of like when you dock a dog's tail because they have happy tail and it just keeps breaking open and bleeding. They'll end up cauterizing their penis and making it like half the size so that they don't get as much blockages. Fun facts of life. Cat motivational speaker added to the CV. I love him. Like, I love every cat that I meet at a rescue, but, like, I genuinely feel sad for not coming home with him, and I'm trying to cope with that, but I feel like focusing on that is also helping me not focus on all of the chaos that is going on here. So, you know. I don't even know if you can foster more than one at a time, because I'm pretty sure Void is going to be here for a while, but I would really love to give him love. What do you think about that? Do you want another brother at some point? You know, those like reaction videos of like mom being pregnant and the kids like wanting to be the baby still, or there's just too many kids in that kid's opinion and the kid's like, no, why, mom, no, why? I feel like that's how Voya is responding to me right now. Even if I could foster 2 at a time, though. 1, it wouldn't be the most ideal space here at the moment. 2, there's a lot going on this month with the rest of the zoo and all of their needs. Munster's U of I appointment, everything for the kittens, kid, and whatever else is going on that's not even crawling into my brain right now. I'll take it. It's too much. But if he doesn't get adopted, he's going to be our foster friend. Probably foster to adopt more than anything. Because I would want to see if you guys get along. Boy's had a lot of kitties come in and steal your attention from him. He sure has. He sure has. If Boy had it his way, he would crawl under my skin and never leave. I would be with him all the time if you had that choice. But you don't like doggies. That's the only caveat. Oh my god, why is this a mess? Doesn't say anything about dogs anywhere on Ziki's profile. But at the same time, Voya hates dogs, so it's not like there ever won't be a place in the house that will be dog free. AKA my Studio E. So I'm not too worried about that part. I just feel so bad. I can't imagine being so, I don't know, fragile in a rescue. Poor guy. He was all boogle boogle. I had to clean my hands really good after touching him. He was so sweet. I loved him so much. I'm not gonna stop thinking about him forever until he's here. I love him. I love him. Where do I want this? Let's get on the move. Why are you still so angry, computer? Calm down. Calm down. You're fine. Chill. Waiting for camera to load. Ba-do, ba-do, ba-do. There we go. I'm gonna lose audio for a sec and then I'll flip us over. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Alright. Lance. Do I have audio for this? Yes. Oh, you crunchy munchies. Ooh. Get some Gunther cans put away. Oh, you know what? I need chat. I'm funny. Hey, what did I mute instead of my mic? Did the music go off? I don't know. It was echoing. I thought I muted my other mic, but I didn't. It was a lie. It was all a lie. It was a scam. It was an untruth. Hi, Slavka. Little tiny demon. Where you going? What's up? That was gonna fall. What are you doing with your life? Hi. Helper. Helper, not scammer. She was underneath the couch. Oh, now she needs to lick my leg and hand. Hello, I love you. I got food to put away. Voya has learned how to perfectly imitate her mew. And I heard him earlier when I knew Slavka was in the kitchen, and it scared the fuck out of me. She does have such a big voice for being so tiny. She's just a little biscuit. She's just a little bean. She's a mighty bean. That's what I started calling the babies earlier, is mighty beans. Take out the old, out with the old, in with the new. Meow. Hey, baby girl. It's brother cans. See, Leah's coming in for inspection. OSHA inspection. There's a lot of legumes in the zoo. The next litter should be named after beans, like garbanzo, lentil, chickpea. That would have been cute. I only went with Midge because my neighbor suggested it. I was like, well, she came into your house. Like, you have the right to, like, name her. She doesn't know I call her Void. Oh, it's everyone helping. Look at you. We're all being helpers. Oh, Slogka's an idiot. She has such a childlike sense of wonder. It brings me joy. What are these? Oh, that's from when your liver went wonky. I organized all of the zoo meds and got rid of stuff that we didn't need the other day. But kept the stuff that we did, and I couldn't remember what that bottle was. It was milk thistle. Alright, recycle box. Oh. Yeah, did she really? She's an asshole. I love her. I love her so much. She does it to everyone. She goes up to them and is just, Papa. She doesn't know how to initiate play properly. She's confused. She thinks she just needs to run up and smack, and it doesn't work that way. You're sitting on chat. You are. Did you smack your brother? Did you give him the good one too? Oh, there's a toy on the bed. There's been a toy on the bed like all week, but okay. We found it. That's hype. Good girl. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Oh, I was looking at research earlier how to teach cats to high five. And instead of moving the cookie up like I do, I guess the trick is to put it in between your fingers so that they end up trying to like dig for it. I'm going to try that with Voya soon. I do. I do. Oh, now Slavko wants to snuggle. We snuggle all the time. We snuggle all the time. When my alarm goes off in the morning, she gives me a bunch of kisses, and she wants to snuggle for like 5 minutes, and then she runs into the boys' room, so in here, and she looks out the big picture window, and that's like the first 2 hours of her morning. It's very cute. Boy, it's gonna be a one-man show. No! Whoa, that's weird. Why did that happen? It changed the badge color. Like, is there an update happening right now? It's gold, and then I don't know if that's white or silver. I think it's white. Oh, the OG one changed as well. Now it went back to gold. But the OG one is still different. That's so weird. Oh, it's a connectivity thing? That makes sense. Oh, you're right. It went back to normal. It's like, wow, I'm watching updates happen in real time. No. That was cool though for a second. It was magical until I learned what it really is. Oh, you stupid light. Dunk dunk. Dunk dunk thunk. Dunk dunk thunk. Seen the color go away from all chat before. It's like something died. The color drained from its face. That's terrible. That's interesting though. I wonder. Speaking of connectivity, what is this attached to? One sec. Meow. Okay. It should be. Oh my god. Jeez, Slavka. It should be the proper connection. Oh my god. Almost tripped over a Voya. Almost. Almost. But not quite. Okay, this cannot be done. There's not enough hands. It just cannot. Hello, Slavka. And then this does this. Baby, I'm dizzy. Hold on. There you go. Same. The thunder will run downstairs. Okay, copy. Make some matcha and sip it in with Kid and then go see the babies. The babies. The babies. Hi, Mama. There we go. The glass is part of Dr. Quinzel. I mean, yes, that I want to be Dr. Quinzel, but tonight we're going for like a post-gym Harley. Like it girl, healthy girl, Instagram girl Harley. We got the workout set going on. Got our hair in a relatively neat bun. Got our glasses. We're gonna have our matcha. It's a lifestyle. And it's a Charlie. Oh God. Hi, Slavka. That was massively unpleasant. Brush my chompers really quick. Blah. Blah, Charlie. Blah. Blah. What was I saying? Post Jim Harley. She's a look. She lost her glasses somewhere. Oh no. Where did they go? There did they go? There did they go? Thank you, thank you. I'm glad I found them. I don't know where else they could have been other than 2 places, but we found them. Thank you. Glasses redemption. Make some matcha. Meh. Charlie says matcha time. Yes. Meow. Meow. Where did I put my spoon? I chose a specific spoon for the matcha. We follow the instructions very carefully. I don't know what else to do. 2 teaspoons. I don't know if this is a teaspoon or not, but my grandpa was called this a teaspoon. So, I mean, despite grandpa's logic with ice, we're pretending that this is correct for matcha. 2 teaspoons? 2 teaspoons. And then it says a 1/4 cup of water. Oh, I gotta make Ringo some rice, too. Charlie bear. Not being helpful while screeching at me about my hair. I don't think she knows. I don't think she cares. Even if she did know. One 4th cup of water. It's more than a 4th. It's about a 4th. 14. It's so jungly green until I add the oat milk. So green. Why is it so green? It's very green. It looks like a teaspoon, certainly not a tablespoon. That's true. I just know that my grandpa always used this to scoop his tea. And like the dissolvable tea, like the crystals. So I don't know if that's why he called it a teaspoon or if it's an actual measurement of a teaspoon. I should compare the two at some point. Don't be crunchy. I feel like a tiny whisk would be good for this. I just have a big plastic one. Froth. I am the frother. Chauncey. He's just sneaking around. Hi, Charlie. I gotta rinse. Oh, wait, we're gonna mix it with some Lacko. Lacko. Is that our teas? I don't know if you need to shake oat milk or not, but I do. I feel like just, I don't know. Anything that is shakeable, like anything that says, anything that does not say, do not shake, I feel like should be shook. And there's a measurement for that amount too, but I don't really care. It's just until it's at the point of the cup that I want. Bloop. Kick is having issues. Oh, Kick. Don't poop your pants on me tonight. Come on. I pulled myself together. You can too. Come on. My apologies for the technical difficulties that are out of my control. I shall offer a bounty of cats as a token of my grand participation. My gratitude and appreciation. I shall make you all matchas. Barista Harley. It's sweeter than I would like, though. The almond milk is vanilla flavored. Or, I'm sorry, the oat milk is vanilla flavored. And this one is cafe style sweetened. I think I would prefer to either not have sweet milk or not have sweet matcha. But I was worried it would be horribly bitter, so I went with the sweet one. Kick needs some matcha. Needs to be kicked. Very matcha. That was cheesy. That's okay. Hi everybody. It is 10:28, my children. It is not dinner time. Like, you could pretend that it is, but it's not. It's not. You scooch these and we'll go see little kid. And then the kitties. I debated on what to do, but I ended up throwing him into... Oops. Not throwing him, but putting him into quarantine after he had his episode. Sunday night after I logged off stream? Yeah, because I didn't see you guys yesterday. That sucked. I was so excited for Monday, and then Monday wasn't allowed to happen. I was stinky. I was bothered. I was very bothered. Little kiddo. Little kiddo. If you say his name really fast and silly, it sounds like Yo Quiero. Lo kiddo. Lo kiddo. Lo kiddo. He's behind the fan. The fan is probably very loud. It doesn't really need to be on anymore. It's kind of chilly now. The house hasn't quite caught up to the outside, but it's existing. Matcha tastes doughy to you. Oh, I get what you're saying. It has like a thickness. I don't know how to describe it either. I don't know if I would call it doughy, but it has like a... Even if you have a small sip, it feels like a mouthful. It has a thickness to the flavor. I know exactly what you mean. So between bread dough and Play-Doh. How thick are you making your matcha, son? Did you read the back for the instructions? I had a feeling he'd want to be a little attention hog. Come here. Feel better. Feel better. Would you please? Would you please? Taking care of the zoo or you is a valid excuse for missing stream. I appreciate that. I'd like to think so. And for better or for worse, that is always true. I can't always guarantee that I'll put myself first, but unfortunately / fortunately for us all, the zoo will always come first. And that's just life. Nothing is ever going to change about that. I love y'all, but you can take care of yourselves. They can't. They need me. They need me. 1 pack equals 1 serving. Sure, Jan. Sure. Low slug. I know, get better indeed. This food has been sitting out for 3 days. This water's been sitting out for 3 days. Well, 2 days, but still. It's not okay. I've been ditching time with the babies to spend time with you. Because he was not being himself just a few days prior to all of this nonsense. Like, he was just laying out in the middle of everything, letting the dogs jump over him, and usually he tries to stay out of that drama. I was like, wow, you're either, like, suddenly entering a very chill senior era of your life, or something's wrong, like you're kind of lethargic, but you're acting normal otherwise, so we'll keep an eye on it. And then you vommed, and it's all been downhill since. So I don't know. We'll probably run blood work tomorrow morning. Maybe run some x-rays. I don't know. I don't think you ate anything, and if you ate something, you would be getting sicker. You would have an appetite, and you would still throw it up. And you don't really eat things. I don't know. We shall see. I would maybe think it's a tooth issue, too. But he's not drinking water. And he drinks even when he has a bothersome tooth. Or he has in the past, and so has everyone else. Like, this is not him. He's usually climbing all over me doing mommy gym, like, being playful, being goofy, being a goober. Instead, he's like, eh. Oh, there's my snack garbage from earlier. I had a Cliff Bar. Ended up on the ground. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Hi, buddy. Like, this is just not him. This is like 10% of him. He should be trying to climb in my lap and stabbing me. It's very possible it's a teeth situation. I don't know. Do you let me look at your teeth? Either that or like esophageal irritation. Because you throw up so many times and it like... He threw up a few times earlier in the day, but it was just food. Will you let me look at your teeth? Oh, your teeth are like really in good shape. As far as I can see. Like, he could have a bad molar. I can't see that far back. But they're actually in really good shape. I don't know. I don't know. Please don't have anything wrong with you. You're not yellow, right? Okay. You gonna try and eat a little bit? It's good. I've even put his favorite food. Kid is not very food motivated, though. Like, Munster, I've been giving fried chicken again, so he would eat because his appetite stopped. And fried chicken is the best. Popeyes is good. It's good stuff. But he doesn't care. I could probably go fishing for salmon and give it to him fresh caught, still flapping, and he wouldn't care. Little buddy is using those whitening strips. I feel like animals are a really, really good example of how hereditary dental things are. Because sometimes their teeth shit out within a year, and other times they're perfect for years and years. Like, Pippi's had a dental every single year that I've had her. Chauncey's never had a dental. And he has pearly whites. It's weird. It's very strange. Marbles has never had a dental. Chong is finally due for one after never having one before. I don't think. Kids only had one. Trying to think of all the older ones. And Munster kind of needs one. Like, his teeth are more... He doesn't really need one, but they're not as good looking as I would like. But he's never had one either. And then Bunny, I adopted her when she was 8, and she didn't have a dental until she was 18. It's wild. With pets too, all the instabilities we added with other breeding traits. I know. Like Pippi's little underbite that we can't tell that she has anymore because she doesn't have enough teeth to have her underbite anymore, but she used to be... I love that for her. Hi. You're only being like 10% of you. Careful, buddy. This is so good. It's so sweet. Like, it feels like I'm really drinking a Starbucks drink, and that wasn't my intention. It feels like such a treat, is what it feels like. It's so good, but it's so sweet. Come here. Hi. Undergum. You know what also I learned recently? It's not very common, but it's not super uncommon either. That cats' teeth just don't come up? Like once they lose their baby teeth, their adult teeth stay down? Like they just don't break through the gums? I didn't think that. I've never considered that's a thing that can happen. I never considered it. Never ever. Never ever. This is so not him. I feel so bad. Mr. Diesel, I'm sorry. I think, oh god, tomorrow is going to be so stupid. My physical therapy got canceled because of the infection that I have, and I haven't been able to pick up a prescription for it because it's out of stock. Got canceled tomorrow, and I have an appointment down the street from physical therapy after physical therapy, which means I have to leave my house at rush hour to go to a stupid place for like 2 seconds. I have to get a mammogram tomorrow. I don't want to. I'm scared. I got small bitties. This is push-up bra. I got small bitties. I'm scared. I'm looking at my calendar right now. It's behind me. I don't want to go. Oh, but tomorrow I want to try moving Diesel's crate into Ringo's room and see how they feel about that. Not that I don't love having you in here, Diesel, because I do, but I would like to have more opportunities in this room, and I would like my mirror back. I would. I miss my mirror. I miss my mirror. I'm scared, though. I'm gonna get squished. Not fun, but important indeed. I've been putting this off all year. I got the referral for it earlier this year. I have to do a regular mammogram now, and I have to do an MRI mammogram in 6 months. Then I need to stop at one of the healthcare lab places for genetic testing because I have an immense amount of family history of breast cancer. I've put this off as long as I can. I was supposed to do it when I was 30, and here we are. I'm responsible. Because that's what my mom passed away from, is breast cancer. Her older sister had breast cancer. She survived. I don't think she's had another bout of it. And I think she's still in remission. I think she's still alive. I don't know. I don't talk to them. She was a really big asshole when my grandma died. And then my mom's other sister had either uterine or cervical cancer. We don't know which. My dad doesn't remember. So I have to get all that fun stuff checked. They gotta check my boobies. Which, like, this sounds terrible, but it wouldn't be the worst thing to, like, test positive on the genetic testing, because that would be such a fun excuse to get fake boobs. Like, a valid excuse, a good excuse. I wonder if insurance would cover it. Probably not. But still. But still. But, like, what could they take out? There's, like, nothing there. I feel like it would be obvious. I don't want to, though. And you think it's uncomfortable? Well, I don't know. I'll give you guys the report card after tomorrow. But in my head, it's much less awkward to have your balls grabbed and to be told to cough, if even that's what they do. I don't know. I don't have balls. I don't get told to cough. Than to have your yitties smushed on a machine. Welcome, No Limit 1. How you doing tonight? Real question is, would they set you up with the same size? I wonder if insurance would only cover it to the same size. That's interesting. Like, if I wanted to go bigger, I would have to pay on top of that. But that would still be cheaper than, like, a full-on mastectomy and boob job, right? I think. I don't know. I'm not asking anyone to be an expert. I'm just spitballing. I am indeed. That's funny, though. I bet insurance would only cover up to the same size just because insurance. Why would they do any more? I mean, I got my nose break fixed, but I didn't get a nose job per se. It wasn't a full-on rhinoplasty. That wasn't an option. That wasn't even an option that I thought about, but it accidentally is a little bit straighter. So, like, I'll take it. I'll take it. The balls cough thing isn't for cancer, it's for hernia. You know, I never knew what it was for. I just assumed that... Okay, I'm not a dude. I don't know how dudes work. Okay, so bear with me. My brain assumed that the hold the balls and cough situation was to make sure one of your testicles wasn't descending. I don't know if I know, like, there's fearful moments where, like, that actually can happen, but I thought that was to check to make sure that, like, they're where they're supposed to be. But I guess if there's a hernia, they're not going to be where they're supposed to be, and that's going to make sense. Oh, God. Stinky fingy of the butt is for cancer. That's true. That's true. Glad I don't have to experience that one in that way, anyway. I remember being like, oh God. My dad's had prostate problems for a long time. I think like most men do, most older men do. And my dad's old. He's been old most of my life. Where was I going with that? Oh, I remember asking when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, like, do I have a prostate? Am I going to have problems with that? Like thinking hereditarily, like, this is happening to you. Is it going to happen to me? But no, girls don't have that. Don't have that. Cats have a prostate, though. I learned that relatively recently as well. When Chong and Kid were going through their bout of weird pees earlier this year, I remember talking to my vet and saying something like, is it possible they have, like, do cats have a prostate? Can they get prostate cancer? Like, is that a thing we need to worry about? But no. Forewarned is forearmed. Oh, that totally makes sense for a hernia, though. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. That's scary. I don't want to think about that. That gives me pain and I don't even have balls. Alright, we're halfway through matcha. Kid. We're gonna go see the babies. We're gonna go see the babies, honey muffin. I'm gonna snuggle with you tonight. Yes, we are. My little buddy. We all get to cross fingers and paws for him tomorrow. He'll be a very sweet boy because that's what he is. Oh, you need your nails done while we're here. But we need a good report card and some medicine that will just fix this. Male cats, indeed. He is so low energy. He should be crawling and sprawling all over me. Come here, friend. Come here. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. We're going to do your nails. Otherwise, Mom's going to forget about it until the last minute and then say fuck it. And then you're going to love on someone and latch into them. It's okay. You're the best boy for nails. Voya and Kid are tied for best boy for nails. I never see Kid scratch on stuff, but his nails grow so fucking long, so fucking fast. It's crazy. Is that just a thing about you? Like some people's hair grows fast? Like faster than others? I love you. Aw, Savinia. My poor baby boo. Oh, careful. Get your balance. Jeez. He's a little dehydro. Like you can check by pulling back their scruff and seeing how long it takes them to bounce back, and his just stays up. But he doesn't like temptation treats. He doesn't like treats. He doesn't like food. He just doesn't care about food. So I can't forcibly hydrate you unless I get a dropper and shove it down your throat, and we're not there yet. I'm not trying to traumatize you. Good Lord. He does it on purpose to be pampered at the Serena Spa. He's always just been such a good boy. He set me up for disappointment with anyone else's misgivings. He really is such a good boy. I will never have a cat that is as well behaved as him. He's never done anything naughty. I'm trying to think. Other than hiding on me every once in a while because he just like wants to give me a heart attack, he doesn't do anything naughty at all. Like Charlie goes in the sink, she tries to get in the garbage, she's naughty. But Kid doesn't do anything naughty at all. You're perfect. You're perfect. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. You're my baby. You're my first foster fail. Yes, you are. I failed within 5 minutes with you. Okay, let me scooch these towards the babies. And then I shall grab us, Club Colt. Baby time. Oh, I want to grab some kitten food too. But I should be able to set up the cam first, I think. So far, no one is scared of me in cosplay. So we just increase the amount of cosplay ever so slightly as like exposure therapy every day that we go in with them. Yes? Yes. That's how that works now. Mom is many different people. Exposure therapy. Or grandma, I guess, in this case. Auntie, daddy, co-parent. I don't know what I am. I think I'm all of those things. Hi, Stinkies. You make us tall. Hi, the babies. Let's see, where can I... Oh, sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to startle you. I literally just moved a tiny bit. I'm sorry. I know, I'm moving a big thing around. I scared the hell out of her. I'm sorry, Void. Void. Oh, she hid. She says, what the fuck? What is going on here? Oh, God. I'm sorry. I know, I'm evil. I'm the worst. You get some kitten chow. I'm sorry, Mom. Hi, Charlie. Baby food, and let me put socks on so I don't move feet germs to the babies. The house is clean, but I'm paranoid. A lot of random stuff going on over here. I know, I did scare her. I moved the litter box, like I slid it across the floor accidentally by leaning into it, which I didn't mean to do. That scared the hell out of her. Between that and like the floating tripod, she said, nope, I'm not doing this shit. Not today, lady. Not today, Satan. It's okay, Mom. She's also pretty, like, meh from going to the vet today. She gets upset. She's sensitive. Hello, Stinkies. Hello, Stinkies. Hi. Hi. Look at Daisy. She's so funny. Let's do this. This. And then can I do this a little like this? That's as tall as right. Okay. Hi, that's my put. That's my put. That's my Pete. I'm just gonna be the headless streamer for a little bit. Smart boy, don't end up like that cow outside. I got 2 babies on my Pete's. Oh my goodness. Stripes loves me. Like, as soon as I introduced the concept of wet food, Stripes is like, holy shit, this Serena girl. She's the best. Little mobile baby. Fluffy is a little extra sleepy after her shot today. Or, I'm sorry, Nibbler. But the other 2 are really energetic. Hi, just don't poop on me. I don't know if you do that like a rat. I don't think so. Baby. Hold on. Well, you're stuck. That was very ambitious. Hold on. I don't want to drop a wig hair in with you. Okay. Oh, it's still on my hand. Get off. Get off. This one is Nibbler. Little Nibbler. Little Miss Mary Moo Cow over here. Miss Daisy. She just lays on the side of the tent and like swims. She's weird. We love that for her. It was a jailbreak attempt. Think this weekend, what I was mentioning the other night about what I would do if I was going to do this differently and with a more socialized mom. Hi. Hello. To do the panels all around. And I think I'm going to build around this with the panels and then detach one tent at a time and they'll be around panels because they're going to be like, within the next week, they're going to be able to try and clear this. I don't know if they'll be able to because of the lip, but I don't want to find out. But I can't cover it because mom has to go in and out and just, Or maybe I'll just leave this one up. Or the other one. Probably the other one because it has a top. And then build the thing around it so that they can go in and out of that one. They just won't have a second tent. I think that'll be a little easier to move through. It'll be more flexible as they age because the bigger they get, I can just add another panel on top. Hi. Do you want to try some food? You're trying to nurse on my leg. Let's try. Fluffy is like, please don't take me to the vet for shots ever again. I'm sorry, Nibbler. I'm sorry. She's not concerningly less active, but she's so much more loving than active than the other two. The other two will play and go crazy. And she just, like, lays there and just watches. She's a quiet observer. She's a very big, sweet love. You're a very big, sweet love.
Mr_Wagbag just followed.
It worries me a little bit because I'm crazy that she's not as active as they are. But she's also still active sometimes, so I'm not worried. She's active enough. She's just not as active as the other two. I'll be good, I promise. No, she's feeling yucky from her shot, I think. What are you doing? She's just intellectual. She's observing. She's learning. Here, let's do lap kitty. There you go. You want to try some munchie stripes? Here's another one. That's why I tied up this so I wouldn't shed on you. No shedding. Hey. Do you want to try? Cow's eating wet food now. We just need Nibbler. We got Daisy, we got Stripes, now we just need Nibbler to get in on it. You didn't check it out? I discovered the most helpful thing was me going, like, imitating a nursing sound while they're doing it. Or while they're checking it out. Daisy is smart. She puts her paw on the plate so that it won't move. You're gonna lick the wall instead of the food, Nibbler? That's very Nibbler. Very Nibbler coated. Come here. Lick this. Yeah, but instead of pooping Powerballs, poop me Powerball numbers so I can win the lottery. Careful. I only got one baby bumper up. Baby bumpers. Now mom's out. She's like, oh, there's food? She's such a snake. She tries to steal the baby's food. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you want them to suckle on you forever? She reminds me of those moms that, like, breastfeed for, like, 3 years instead of, I don't know when babies can start eating solid food or, like, stop breastfeeding. I think, like, a year probably. I don't know. She reminds me of one of those moms that just wants to breastfeed for as long as possible. And instead of trying to wean her children, she just likes the process. Do you guys want to watch the stream? There you go. Hi. Do you want to try eats? Daisy got over the hump over here and then she fell asleep in the corner. No? Why is my hair and everything? Oh, you're gonna step on her. Okay. Hi. The firstborn? I never thought the firstborn would love me. Stripes, I can't believe you love me. I always feel like those moms are just a myth of television. I've never known any personally. I've known a couple, and it's interesting. Like, it's a no judgment thing. Like, it's your child, you're the parent. It's what you think is best, 100%. And if you think it's best to do that, then who am I to question anything? Because I've never had to go through all of that. I've known a couple. Just a couple, but I've known a couple. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the norm. So it seems weird. Hi. That's what happens when you have hippie friends. Hi. What do you think, Miss Daisy? Do you want to try to eat or are you sleepy? Hi. Daisy finally stopped hating me yesterday. And now she's going to hate me starting tomorrow because we got to do dewormer. And like with Tank, that was easy. With Slavka, it was easy. Just mix it into food. I don't think that's going to work for these guys. You want to try? She's thinking about it. You can see the wheels turning. Want kitten? Have kitten. Here you go. Take this. It shall guide you on your journeys. And Mom is like, do not make my child that airborne. She had a feeling. Good job, Daisies. You want to eat with your sister? I'll put more food down if you want to. Are they born with worms? So they get it after Mom did? It'll be both. What if Mom's pregnant and she has worms, the babies will be born with worms. But they're probably a little bit more infected just because they share all of the same bedding, even though I switch it out every day. But Mom's been treated at my vet as of a couple days ago. I don't remember when I had her at the vet, but at some point last week. And I got dewormer for the babies for the next 3 days. Get the zoomy little bastard. You're so brave. There's a wall there, though. But if Mom is pregnant and she has worms, the babies will guaranteed be born with worms. Which I did not know. That sucks. That sucks. Jungle Gym, Serena. It's Mommy Gym. So I'm getting my little kid is not feeling good, but mommy gym fix. Are you gonna go play with your sibling? What's Nibbler doing? Nibbler's just scratching at the walls. Yeah. I want to get them something to scratch on, but I'm gonna ask my vet tomorrow. Well, I need to ask my vet tomorrow. One, when I should start litter training them. Two, what kind of litter I should use. And three, when is it safe for them to have like a scratching post kind of situation? I feel like they would really enjoy that, but I don't want to give them something they shouldn't have yet. You're so good, Cow. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you. That's good eats. You're just a sleepy bub. Are you feeling playful? Do 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 do. Stripes is gonna grow up to be so pretty. I cannot wait to see what she looks like. You wonder if they traveled through the umbilical or just through the amniotic fluid? God only knows. I mean, however that works internally, parasites usually live in your intestines. So whatever part of the digestive tract is attached to more of that than the stomach, I guess. I don't know how any of that connects. I don't know about indoor plumbing. I mean, when I was 10, I was concerned I had a prostate, for crying out loud, so. Hi, baby. I don't know, maybe through the amniotic fluid? Because you get tapeworms from eating fleas. So, like, if a cat has fleas and they groom themselves and they eat the flea eggs, that's how they get tapeworms. Hi, babies. Does my knee taste better than the food? That was a good eat. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So I guess depending on when she contracts worms, either whatever attaches to the stomach or whatever attaches to the intestines. Not that either attaches to either, but whatever has a more direct connection, I guess. Don't sit in your food. I know they're all not eating solid yet, but I'm really surprised at how unmessy this experience has been. I'm sure it'll get worse as they get older, but like, so far it's pretty neat. In many ways. There are instances where the umbilical will filter out some bacteria if the mom is in the process of developing defenses for it. Dang. So if she would have gotten dewormed like right at the start of her pregnancy, the kids probably would have been fine. But instead, she decided to come in when she was at the third trimester tail end. Did you give me kisses? Thank you. Thank you. Look how fluffy this thing is. Look how fluffy. Look at that tail. Look how fluffy. How is she so fluffy? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Tapeworms, really gross conversation, I'm sorry. Tapeworms can range from really small to really large, depending on, again, really gross conversation. They can section themselves. So kind of like an earthworm, if one gets cut in half, then instead of one worm, there's two worms. So tapeworms can section themselves also. And it's, but the seeds are like the sesame seed ones. Or, yeah, sesame seed ones. So the seeds are pretty big. Like they're eggs. But no one's going to have sesame bagels for breakfast. I'm so sorry. But the worms themselves, they can break off into pieces and make more worm. Isn't that nasty? That's very nasty. We can get Mama Void on my case. She really wants to finish the rest of this food. Oh, Stripes is trying to chat for us. Stripes, what'd you do? Welcome, Panda. They are so cute. Here, have one. You're stuck. 2. Are you gonna try to eat? have... Go here. 3. Do you want to try and eat a little bit? No? We just wanted the idea of... It's like Ringo and pooping. We don't expect, we just explore the concept of. Ringo doesn't have to poop. That's not the expectation. But the expectation is that he at least thinks about the concept of pooping. Same thing for you guys. You don't have to eat the wet food, but you have to think about exploring the concept of eating the wet food. We just got to keep an open mind. That's all. That's all. Daisy has had it up to here with the uppies. She's the most sensitive. I don't think she liked getting manhandled today. I wasn't in with them for their appointment, and it made me so nervous. And that's how I met little Zeke, and ended up making friends with the other cats. I know, I miss when Munster was a baby too. Babies are so magical. Like, human babies are a lot, but kittens, oh my god, give me all the kittens. Give me. Ringo poop philosophy. It helps. I don't know. I like to create funny scenarios to help me not be frustrated. So, because I don't need to get frustrated spending 10 minutes of yard just standing there staring at nothing, I just pretend that we're exploring a concept instead of trying to reach a goal. Because you can be more flexible when you're exploring a concept versus it's very straight and narrow trying to reach the goal. We explore the concept. What are you doing? You're playing with the wall. You're so silly. Oh my goodness. That's Stripes and Daisy? No, you're Stripes. That's Fluffy and Daisy. Or Nibbler and Daisy. Nibbler has the slightest amount of stripes on her back legs. I get confused still. Takes a couple glances. I wonder if moms with human twins that are the same gender get them mixed up. And like if one of them is born John and one of them is born Jack. Like what if 10 years down the line Jack's actually John and John is actually Jack? Like what if you just mess up and you're not sure and you just go with it? It doesn't matter, but I think about these things. To number 2 or not to number 2? That is the question. Indeed. Oh my goodness. He is going to be an escape artist. Stop doing that. He keeps chewing on the potty pads too, which is giving me a super healthy amount of anxiety. Stop chewing on your potty pads. It's only in that corner, and in that corner she's doing it. Like, stop it. Moms just know. That's probably true, honestly. But I feel like moms also get tired. And like if I had 2 twins of the same gender, or if I had a set of twins of the same gender, the first time I got a good sleep, I would probably wake up and not remember which kid is which, honestly. That's a fact of my life. You are going to be an escape artist. I have like panels that you can put together, and I think I'm going to build them out a different kind of enclosure, because they're within a week they'll be able to clear over this. So better to reinstate something different before we have a flying kitty. Hi, Stripes. I love you. They're finally like understanding the concept of pets too. That's nice. I'm not just a weird hand touching them. That's the trick. You don't get a good night's sleep for 20 years. You're probably right. If I asked my dad, he would probably agree. Probably agree. He got lucky. He got no sleep for 18 years. But probably like 17 and a half. If you count all the times they got kicked out, probably 16 years. But still, that's a lot of years. That's an investment. That's a lot of time. So fair. What do they say? Sleep when the baby sleeps? I feel like that's too nerve-wracking. Even when these guys were babies, I would lose sleep just staying up watching them breathe because it's like, are you alive? I would be terrible with human children. Like, not terrible in a bad way, but like terrible, like insane. I would make my kids sick. Yeah, look at this little bastard. I would make my kids sick by always freaking out about there being something wrong and like taking them, to the hospital. Look at this little boogie. See, we gotta change this up soon. I never closed the top of this. I left it open on you all of earlier. Oopsies. Oopsies. When we got back home, I left that open. Oops. 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 I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, and I'm not gonna mix up my potential twins' genders. I can't even remember to zip a tent. Come on now, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. I'm being too me, the Harley is coming out. Let me zip the top of that for you, darling. Reattach this there. All that fun stuff. Goodness me, oh my. Sorry. I know, weird ceiling stuff. Weird roof. We gotta close the dome. I got to close the dome. Okay, there we go. All better. All better. More better. More better. Alright, I think we're done with this. I'll try some more later. Are you getting good eats, Mom? Do you want the rest of this plate? I think the babies are done with it. I think they're done with it. You want to come in? You want to come in with your babies? You want this? You can have it out there. You can come in here. Do you want to have it out there? Are you having a mommy break tonight? I don't know if we can see her or not. I don't think so. There you go. It's okay. It's okay. She's been very hand shy with me since we got home. She really didn't want to go in the carrier today. I got the babies in there, and it was a fight to get her in there with the babies. I was like, Jesus, just let me help you. Just let me help you. Jesus. Mommy is doing wonderfully. Oh, I actually found out how much she weighs today. She's 8.10 pounds. So she's about the size of an average cat. She's about average. He is to give both the twins the same name. Surely won't cause a problem later in life. Oh, God. Trying to think of names that you can pronounce. You're Thomas, you're Tomas. Mommy cat is doing good. Void is doing very well. She's being a very attentive mommy. The only thing she's doing that's kind of stinky is when I give the babies wet food. She usually wants to eat it. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to wean your children. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? I feel like 8 to 12 pounds is like average cat size. I don't think she's big. She's not fat. It's just extra love, like you said. It's just extra love. I think Cow is going to have, or Daisy is going to have some extra love. When I write down in their log, I'm still using their birth names. So I have like 3 different names for them all in my head. Number 1, number 3, Cow. Number 1, number 3, Cow. Number 1, number 3, Cow. That's Serena shorthand. You betters not be chewing up the potty pad. What are you doing? You're so naughty. Look at you. You're so naughty. You're so naughty. You're so naughty and wild. You're so naughty and wild. You are. Oi. Okay, we made it through. We made it back. Made it back. I have chicken scratch, especially when I'm writing first thing in the morning. I do not have nice handwriting for a girl. It's generally legible. It probably looks like it's in code. Number 1, number 3, cow. Different times. If I'm ever investigated for a murder, that file will be taken. Oh my goodness. Is there Serena Longhand? Yes. There's 2 of them. Hi. When I journal, I guess. Oh, you're so cute and magical. Here, let's do a little close up for a minute and then we'll go down with Tinky for a bit. Flip this around. There we go. Hi. See, look at Stripes. She's so pretty. You were snuggling about. Look at these little bastards. Cow is so fluffy. I have creepy witch hands. Yeah, I don't take my time with writing. I don't have good handwriting. I try for like stream stuff and that's about it. I'll slow down, but other things, no. You gonna chew on my side? Is that what you think is a good idea right now? Mmm, tasty shorts. Hi. Look at your little foofy tail. Look at you chewing on my leg. That's gonna hurt soon. It's gonna hurt soon. Almost piano fingers, kind of. Color is right. Pale and black. Honestly, yes, it's like a stocking journal. They have me be very interested. Well, it says a time, AM or PM, and then it says number 1 or number 3 or cow. So yeah, it would be a little creepy. In the Coliseum. Oh my god, are you little gladiators? Are you gladiator girls? What are Wonder Women? Are you Amazonians in the gladiator ring? It's a zoom. See, they have short burst zooms and then they just fall over. Tall girl. It's 3 girls. Isn't that crazy? Charlie also had 3 daughters. It's 3 girls. What is you doing? You're so interested in my clothes. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. What are your babies doing? Go see what they're doing. Fake mom. Real mom. Void is learning what the couch bed is. I got them a little tent, but I think they're still too small for that one, so I took it back out. Hi, Void. She's just checking on her babies. And this little ding-dong, honey. See, thankfully, this one closes, but it's shorter at the bottom. And thankfully, this one is taller at the bottom, and they can't get their back feet all the way up to it yet. I don't think they can get over this lip, but at some point they definitely will be dexterous enough to be able to. Say, Mom, what are you doing up there? Honey, you can't jump in on that side. She knows that there's a top to it. She can only jump in on this side. Say, Mom. Mom. It is like a stocking journal. I'm never going to be able to unsee that now. Oh, you all want Mommy. Cow. Cow is fake mom. Cow is happy. Cow has fake mom. They do be getting confused, and it's funny as fuck. Where are you going? This one is also cheaper, and they're starting to scratch. It's not like ripped yet, but they're starting to like make the corners weaker by scratching into it. This one will only last for so long, and that's okay. It was the cheap one. My dad has the good one. I should have borrowed it back from him, but I didn't think about it. Look at you, Floof. See, Nibbler is active. She's just not as active. She's probably half as active as the other two. But she doesn't show any signs of being developmentally delayed when she is playing. I'm not worried. This is like a TV show. When we do this again, when we have another litter, not from Void, but from another cat or dog, I want to be able to set a camera up inside just like this. Like from both sides, so we can get all the way back here and then on the other side too. 4 corners would be cool, but I'll settle for 2. Jump right into frame. Oh, you're so wild. You're so wild. Look at that tail. Look at that. Look at that little daisy cow. See, this is not my mom. There's no milk in this thing. Someone needs to go to the grocery store. We're out of milk. She's so dainty. You gonna get him? You gonna get him? I could literally stare at them for hours like it's sick. You got him? You got him? Oh, stinky butts. Daisy does look like a totally different cat. She's bigger, she's fluffier. The other two have duckling fluff, but I think they're going to be short hair. Daisy is definitely going to have long hair. She's fluffier, she's bigger, she has like a more rounded face, even if the fluff wasn't there. Like, she must take after her daddy. She must. She must. You're little daddy's girl. You're like me, we're fluffy. Crash. See, that's fine from that height, but we don't want that happening from all the way at the top of the tent. Tent is 2 feet, 2.5 feet, something like that. I don't think it's quite 3 feet tall. That corner especially, they've been scratching up. It's getting weak. Crazy little bastards. Because I wonder what goes through their heads to make all of the choices that they are. And I don't think anything goes through their heads. It's just chaos. I wish to be that free. I envy it. They should be the ones cosplaying Harley all month. Where are you going, Daisy Dooders? Yeah, pull her down. Say, no, you're not supposed to do that. Thank you. Good job, number 1. Until she has to start moderating them, abso-freaking-lutely. Oh my god. You are not. Is he all the way up there? She's all the way up there. Jesus Christ. Their nails aren't also big enough to hook into, like, the vinyl part versus the mesh, thankfully. Jesus Christ, Daisy. They're professional rock climbers. Void has become more and more grateful every single day for the time that I spent moderating the kittens. I think she appreciates having a break, and I think she feels pretty spoiled by having a helper. having a doula. Pardon. Hi. What you doing, Daisy Doo? Daisy Duke? Hi. She says boop. What you thinking there, little biddle? Aw, Manto will forgive you because he's back. So, whoa. There's a leg there. I think at this point you even graduated to an au pair. Oh, that sounds fancy. I like that. Doula makes me feel like I'm doing the hula. Au pair makes me feel like I make a lot of money. I'm schmancy and rich with a carriage. Oh, are you finally playing with that toy? It has a really big bell inside of it. I don't think there's any way they could break into that one. You're CP Stripes. You just want to chew it. Okay. Good job, Nibbler. Live up to your name. You. Don't chew on the body pads. Don't chew on the body pads. Don't chew on the body pads. No. No. She's like, well, excuse the fuck out of me. I chew on the potty pads if I want to. I do whatever I want. I'm Daisy. I'm spoiled. I'm the baby. I'm Daisy, baby. I'm spoiled. I do what I want. I do what I want. I sniff butts. I do what I want. Girl. Hi. Are you ready to come up for some bumper buddies? Oh, jeez. I gotta be a bumper. Shit. Shit. Cat butt. No free butts. No free butts. It's underage butt. Okay. There you go. Bumpers. I'm not that unsophisticated. I know what an au pair is. Oop! You went forward about it, kid. An au pair is a rich people nanny. Are you having fun just jumping off of me? There you go. Mommy bumpers. She jumped into you guys. I think she's watching herself. Oh, shit. Oh. I think she's watching herself on the screen. Ah! What are you doing? You just want to cause all the chaos. Okay. Okay. I accept it. Oh, got a scratch. And now Fluffy is asleep. But see, the other two are still awake. Kind of. Daisy's a little tired, but she's observing. But now Nibbler's asleep. Daisy is chilling. She's like, I'll just observe. And Stripes. Stripes, I wish you would stop doing this. I had to take the sheets out of here because Stripes actually got stuck for like a half hour and I didn't know, and I feel so fucking bad. Underneath the sheet because it's a twin sheet that was folded in half. Look, there's a monster. There's a monster right here. But Stripes got stuck in the sheet the other day, and that was very scary. So now there's only a blanket on here for each side, But she keeps doing this. She's obsessed with going under things. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's why I think they'd really like. Where is it? That little tunnely scratcher thing. Then she can go under that. But I don't know if they're big enough to have a scratcher yet. Hello, world! Somersault into you. You still have all the energy. It's time to eepy, babe. It's time to eepy. It's time to eepy. Miss Daisy, are you sleepy now? This little shit. Are you tucking yourself in for night-nights? Okay, good night. Good night. No, good night, sleepy. Put your paws in. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. She got her claw stuck in the blanket and pulled the whole thing over her, and I just went with it. What? Meow. That's big words. What are you trying to tell everyone? It's not bedtime? Damn, okay. It's not bedtime then. Shit, Jesus. Yeah, I'd be a pushover as a parent. What would be the harm of having Scratcher in there too soon? I don't think anything, but I overthink everything. I just want to make sure it's okay first. My main thing is that when I'm not in the room with them, I don't want them to get stuck on something. Case in point, the sheet. And I feel like if there's a Scratcher and they're too young for it, like their nails are too small, they could end up getting, like, really stuck. And what if you just bit me, you fucker? What if I'm asleep for like 4 hours and one of them is stuck, They'll end up ripping out a nail or be miserable, and that would be a lesson, but that's not a lesson I want us to learn. We were on the tripod. That was so much more helpful. Come on now, kid. Come on now, little one. You're running around and being crazy. Stand up. There we go. That was so fierce of her. She has big feels. Goodness. Goodness. You just want to sit together? Do you love me? Do you love me? I love you. Everyone, there's 3 of these left in stock. Go get yourself one right now. There's 2 black. Only 1 remains of the special limited edition cow spot. They're on sale now. No, they're not. They're on sale in 4 weeks. Pre-order now. Are you CP? Now you're not going to argue with me about it? Everyone's CP. Hi. I love. Bang. This is my favorite thing to do with them. Bang. Bang. No, you're supposed to roll over. Bang. 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 You're a tough little fella. Bang. I have way too much fun with that. Stripes is like my best friend in the whole wide world all of a sudden over the last 24, 48 hours, and it's crazy. You love me and I love you. You gotta tell your siblings to get the memo. Little Miss over there. Little Miss Nibbler, she gotta get the menu. The memo. Daisy, you kinda got the menu. The memo. Jesus, brain, function. You sleepy girl. Sleepy girl. Daisy's okay with me, but she's like slightly offended when she gets attention without anticipating it. She's like, no, that's okay. I'll go over here. You can leave me alone. But that was nice. What are you doing? Your sister's sleepy. She's sleepy. You were just sleepy. No, don't you do it too. The United States of Mom does not negotiate with terrorists that want to climb under blankets. Okay? I don't. You can be snuggly, but you can't be stuck. Jesus Christ. What did you press on here, my child? Goodness golly gosh. What are you doing? Why are you not sleepy yet? You're just a sweet little boob. This one's too tall for them to get their back legs up yet. But soon. Oh, and that tag. That tag is our evil arch nemesis. Fuck that tag. You gonna go sleepy with her, or you gonna bother her? I think both. Alright, Stinky Peanuts, I love you. I love you. Mom is under the couch somewhere. I don't know where, but we love you, Mom. We love you. We love you, Mama. Like those spring door stops, just pure evil. I used to break those off when I was a kid. There's almost none of them still attached. Ooh, in my dad's house. There we go. I don't know why I needed to break those off, but I broke them off. My house doesn't have any, and I wish my house did. Otherwise, I just slam doors into things. What is this? Here, get out of there. Ah, Mom's plate is there. I forgot about that. You guys are so cute. You're so cute, and I can't even stand it. How do you be so cute? I put this in the keychain. No, breaking them off by literally just going near, and then it comes off. I don't know why I did that, but I did that. I did it. I sure did it. You have to really slam a door to, like, break it open that way. Mama. There's Mom. You're not very good at jumping in that way. Okay, you did it. I'm proud of you. Hi. I love you. Here, you want a snacky? Where did I put... Didn't I have my tea in here? No, I was gonna take my meds. Hold on, let me do that real quick, sweetheart. And then we'll get you a snack. No, you're awake. You're nursing. Okay. Mom, I will have a snack for you later. I don't know if you can eat and nurse at the same time. She might move out of the way of it. She looks like she's expecting a snack, though. Ready? Now it's on your nose. Yummy. Now it dripped. The room is cursed where every cat that enters loves Temptations treats. Back to Temptations sponsor me. It's all over your face. Ah, now it's all over my finger. You're not very graceful, and that's okay. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, I'm new to this house cat life. She reminds me of what's her face in Pretty Woman. I love you. You good girl. You dropped some. Look, you dropped some. I love you, stinkers. Be good. Make good choices. What? That needs to be tightened. There, that's better. Merp. Go visit Mr. Tank. And see Mr. Tank in a minute. Oh, I hate when I do that. I try to shrink my pinned and I unpinned my pinned. Now it's gonna be lost for when I go to find it tomorrow or Thursday, and I have to watch my stream back. But whenever I post my pin, petty complaints of like, you make sure this is closed. Hi, Charlie. You're in charge. You're in charge. Here's me, Bippy. I gotta take glasses off. It's too much with the wig. With it in like the bun situation, it's very itchy in the back and it's too much sensation. Because with the glasses on too, they're like tighter on my face. Charlie, those are some big words. Thank you for sharing. scratch pad. Nice love, God. Bring her your beautiful boy. Your beautiful boy. Okay. We are ready. We are ready. Jake might be totally borking out. It's not loading. Oh, not loaded. It's taking forever on my phone. I thought it kicked me off. I was wrong. It's okay. Charlie, you have a lot to share tonight. I love that for you. A girl who's not afraid to express herself. Whoa, I got this. Oh, okay. That's what I get for thinking I can carry more than 2 things at a time. 2-part process. Charlie. Ow, sorry. It was either sacrifice my own life or hitting the tripod. Hi, Mr. Tank. Oh, I wish you guys could have seen that. Tank goes up on the cat tree, believe it or not. He is an ambitious little man. Hello, son. Let me get you a new scratch pad. There we go. Brand new. Kind of. Gunther scratched on a little. I'm sorry. That's a cool word. Watching Charlie and Slavka trying to negotiate each other and trying to use the cat tree was a page out of world politics. They do have very interesting differings of opinions. I will give them credit for that much. Excuse me, Tank. Thank you. That works for the moment. They're not like a. They're like a battle of the wits. They're interesting. We gotta vacuum it, whatever. We can put this up first. I think I'll have time to vacuum tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be so weird. Who the fuck has a random appointment at fucking 5:30 p.m.? Me. It's annoying because my physical therapy is usually at 4. We gotta ask the CDC what to do. That's annoying. Sorry, Tank. I lost my train of thought. I got mad at the world. I do that. May I place this here, son? Okay. Mr. Tank. You gonna try again, you scratcher? You gotta swap your ices. I'm nervous for it, but by the end of the month, Tank needs to get in for a dental. Because he's eating a little bit less. Excuse me, son. Hi, excuse me. He's been due for a while now. And despite his little tripping balls episode, it's time. Gotta do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. It is rare to see appointments after 5. It's because it's a specialist office, something or another. I don't know. It's called a high-risk breast clinic because my boobs are risky. They're dangerous. I don't know. I appreciate that they squeezed me in, though. I had an appointment the day that I found that dog when I was driving. And I had to call and cancel. I was like, I have a personal matter. And there's this random dog next to me. Which, thank God for microchips. Everyone, spay and neuter your pets. Please, for the love of God, microchip your animals. It makes them so easy to find their way back to mom and dad. Please do it. I know most of the things have, like, subscriptions and cost money now, but it is worth it. It's the simplest way to reunite your buddy to you. Do it. Do it. I don't have dense boobas, and it's gonna suck. I have a push-up bra on. This is purely for my own enjoyment, and possibly anyone else's, but definitely for my own enjoyment. I like boobs. I like pretending I have boobs. There's not much yitty to the titty, and I'm scared it's gonna hurt. I just remember my godmother telling me that it's gonna hurt because I have small boobs, and I believe her because she's like, it hurts me, and she has big boobs. It's not gonna feel good. I'm not looking forward to it. I will report back to you all what it feels like getting your titty schmooshed in a machine. The MRI one will be weird. I don't know if I just like lay down for that. That one's strange. I know how that works. Need one of those warning tape bikinis. Warning. No, like in the car. Caution, objects may be closer than they appear. Caution, objects may be smaller than they appear in a bikini. Out of a bikini. Mr. Tank, can you give me a snuggle? I love you so much. I would love a snuggle. Come here. Our bed is a mess right now. Come here. Come here. Give me a snuggle. Give me a snuggle. I can't imagine it feels good for anyone either. But it probably feels the worst when you got small yitties. Not enjoyable from what I've been told. Yeah, I can't imagine it, like, any part of it is not, at the very least, uncomfortable. Let alone, But it's temporary. It takes, like, 2 seconds. If it really hurts, I'll complain about my sore titties on Thursday. My boobs hurt. That's okay. We'll get through it. It shall be temporary. Okay, bye, Tank. Tank says no snuggles. I'm not looking forward to it. I think the pictures will be cool, though. I don't know. I like seeing scans. I think they look really neat. I like seeing my insides. That sounds really strange, but it's true. I like it. Tank just wants a snack. Tank doesn't care about anything but a snack. There was a girl cat named Francine that looked like Tank that was at Noah's today. I fell in love with that cat so hard. Oh my god. Ain't your baby, baby, baby. I can't remember what it was, but I was thinking earlier. There was some point when I needed to run in that direction later this week, and I don't know what it would have been for. But then, at the very least, I'm going to sponsor his adoption and spend some time with him. Mr. Zeke. I love that cat. I'm literally in love with that cat. I would adopt that cat in a heartbeat, and I'm forcing myself to not because we are at cat capacity. I can't. I keep reminding myself he's not in the street. He's cared for. He gets 2 hots and a cot. He's in a double enclosure type situation. Like, it's not ideal, but He's cared for. His needs on a basic level are met. It's okay. But as soon as I'm able to foster him, I would like to foster to adopt him. Because it would all depend on, like, him being FIV, getting along with the boys. I don't think he would get along with Tank. Tank, I think you're just going to have your own room. Because you are a baby in a big man's body. You're an untrained baby in a big man's body. He just is. We love him. It would all depend on if they got along or not. But at the very least, I would like to give him a chance to be in a home sooner than later when possible. Fans are annoying. I always tune them out. They're always on. I love that cat. I love him. He was so sweet. He was such a love. He was just laying and chilling and then woke up and looked at me. And I was like, oh, are you friendly? And I put my finger next to the cage and he's like, hey. And then opened his eyes and he had such pretty eyes. And it was just love, love, love. And then at some point he started grooming himself while I was petting him. And he looks like he has allergies. And after that, he fell asleep on my hand while I was petting him. And I was like, fuck you. Like, I'm in love with you. God damn it. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not. Doesn't say anything about dogs on his profile, though. So I'd venture to guess he's not good with dogs. So regardless of FIV, he would have to be with the cats. Or be with the boys. Hey, buddy. Excuse you. Thank you for sharing. I fell in love with him, though. I'm going to be thinking about him for a long time, and I don't think I'll stop thinking about him because I want to go visit him at least every week. If I can make time for my own stupid bullshit, I can make time to go visit him. I just have to be very careful not to spread germs. I used so much hand sanitizer while I was there today. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have animals at home. I'm so sorry. And I also don't want the babies to have germs. There's the baby boy, Mr. Tank. He get a little Kimton massage. I'd like to adjust the camera, but he'll think it's SNAK time and move. Goofy goober. Someone come adopt that cat. Don't come adopt him. And adopt Void. And adopt the babies. Oh my goodness. Oh, the baby. He's a good boy. They're no kill though, which they have quite the list of long-term residents, which is understandable. But I like the message that they stand behind. I don't know. I just had an issue with them years ago, but I do like the rescue. They were very nice today. It was so scary to hand off the babies and like wait for them to get their little shot and get them back. I think they got the FVRPC or something like that vaccine today, along with their dewormers. Mom was very cranky. So far, whenever Mom has to go to my vet, she has to be sedated. And not just like Tank, like with an ACE, but like full on, like as if she was going into surgery. So we'll see how that goes going forward. The distillery that you like going to switched over to making hand sanitizer during the panini like a lot did. A lot of them did. You're absolutely right. The company that my buddy works for, there's an alcohol distillery that made cases upon cases upon cases of hand sanitizer. This was while I had Voya, so in the midst of the panini 2020. And I remember he bought me a whole case of hand sanitizer from there, and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, I didn't know anything about FIV then, and I was psychotic about transferring any kind of germs, which I still am, but I know which ones are more scary than others, I guess. But that's so cool. I didn't know that happened everywhere. I thought that was unique. That's awesome. got some of theirs to use and have. It actually smells like vodka. Oh God, that's concerning whilst driving. These were actually scented. There was one that was like tropically, like tropical something or another, and then I think one that was like apple scented, which I was surprised about. But it was like apple martini and like tropical rum or something like that, even though it was hand sanitizer, not alcohol. Schmancy. And not fancy, ye old Midwest, you know. Are you ready for your snacky? Are you ready? I did not know that was a commonplace thing, though. That's cool. I thought we were just special. Just special. But no, we weren't that special, Tank. I think conventions before last, so last year's, like 2024 conventions, I used up the rest of it because I like having a bottle of hand sanitizer at my station for myself and others. I just do. I don't want nobody else's nasty germs. No. No. Someday it will prompt some questions. Officer, I swear it is just hand sanitizer. I will not under any circumstances drink this. Can you imagine? That's strong. That's very strong. It's very, very strong. Oh, the baby. Does alcohol actually kill germs, like booze alcohol, like in the movies when people pour it on wounds? Maybe there is a little bit of vodka in it. Does it have an ingredients list? I don't think those things are required to have an ingredients list. Maybe they are. I don't think so, though. Hey, baby. Snackies. Snackies. There you go. You rear up like a little stallion. I love you. You're my favorite butt. You're the best butt. You're the best butt that ever butted. It's flammable, which will kill germs. I mean, that's an interesting rule of thumb to know. If it burns, it's working, literally. Oh my gosh. That guy is approved. Tomorrow we'll clean. That makes sense. No. So rubbing alcohol is, doesn't it say 90% on there? Or am I thinking of peroxide where it's like 1% or 2% or something like that? I got tank floof in my lipstick, which this lipstick doesn't really stay colorful for long, but it still stays glossy, which is weird. Like it's still sticky, but the color is gone. Strange. If it burns, it's working. I don't think that's a common phrase anymore because anytime I've said it where it applies, like when you get Reglan, metoclopramide injected into you, it supposedly burns a little bit. It doesn't burn me, but it feels like, I don't know, kind of like icy or spicy. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's not like a burning feeling. And anytime I've gotten it injected, I say, like a fucking true dad, I don't know, if it burns, it's working. And no one's ever laughed at me. Like, are nurses just that tired, or is it not funny? Or are they, like, waiting for me to scream out in, like, shock and horror of, like, it's painful! Which it's not. I don't know. Rubbing alcohol is high, like 99%. I'd look at a bottle, but I don't think I have any rubbing alcohol in the house. I have alcohol wipes. Does that say? I believe you, but now I'm curious. What is hand sanitizer? Carly's been enjoying the conversation. Ethyl alcohol, 62%. Antiseptic. Oh, it does have an ingredients list. That's interesting. Then, where are the alcohol wipes? They're in the emergency dog bag. The emergency / take on a trip because there's one of everything in it. Sterile oh my god, I just dumped out the whole box. GG's, Serena. I am turning into my father. It's great. It doesn't say on this one. Does it say on the back? Oh. Okay, so the prep pads. I believe you about the isopropyl alcohol, but I don't have a bottle of it to look at. But I'm just curious to learn. One prep pad is saturated with 70% isopropyl alcohol. But if it was that high of alcohol, it would probably eat through the paper too. It'd probably be hard to package. Rubbing alcohol burns. I was always afraid of it when I was a kid. I would cry before it would even be applied. I was that much of a baby. With my niece and nephew, I only ever used peroxide. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think they do about the same thing. Rubbing alcohol is probably the most effective, but soap and water and hydrogen peroxide do about the same. But I remember when my niece stepped on a nail, and it didn't like fully go in her foot, but it punctured her, but she was upset on her tetanus, and it wasn't too bad, but I cleaned it, and she was so upset. And in that moment, she's like, "It better not burn the stuff you put on it," thinking it was alcohol. And I was gonna put hydrogen peroxide on it instead. I'm like, "Okay, if this burns, you can punch me in the face." And so I put it on, and it fizzes a little bit. And she's like, "It feels bubbly." I'm like, "Does it hurt? Does it burn?" She's like, "Not any more than it did." It's like, "Okay, then you can't punch me in the face." And I told you it wouldn't burn. Believe me. It's an emergency. Believe me. Trust me. Trust my perspective. Oh my god, what is that? Oh. This is a pig hoof filled with like meat and peanut butter that I keep forgetting to give back to the dogs. It's been in the cabinet for a hot minute. It's probably not good anymore. Isn't that gross? It's really gross. Piggy's excited by the crumbs that just fell out of it, so maybe it is still any good. And the peroxide is out here because Chauncey had a boo-boo the other day. 3% hydrogen peroxide. That's what that one is. Although you use different levels of peroxide for your hair too, but that's a conversation for another night. Your girl is tired. Your girl needs to be up early. Your girl needs to feed the zoo. Your girl needs to stare at little kid and tell him that she loves her. Habba-dabba-da. Do you think it was a cicada? It was panic stricken at some points. No, it was a hoof. It wasn't a hoot. It was a hoof. Ah, you made the door awkward. You're behind it. Goofy goober. You're the people that love those pig hooves. My dogs loved it, but they chewed on them too intensely. Like Chauncey ended up hurting his mouth with it. And I put it up in the cabinet and then I never took it down. Oops. I'm a bad mom. I'm a bad mom. But I feel like that's part of like not going to work, like working from home mostly, because it's like, oh, here, have a bone to last you all day versus like, here, just have this to chew on while I'm in the next room. I don't think about it very much. I think they got it for Christmas. It's probably cartilage. I'm thinking. Oh, I forgot the rest of my matcha. Hi, Boya. I'm guarding the door. Why is your tail so big? Why is your tail so big? You're a fluffy raccoon. Put it down. You're fine. I don't know. Fluff is somewhere. She's somewhere. That's what she do. She be somewhere. Ringo, we got food in a minute. Food in a minute. It's like a child. We have food at home. I find if you guys have seen that DoorDash commercial very amusing. I think it's DoorDash. Where like people are having their commute home, either driving or I don't know, on a train, on a bus, something. They're going home. And the kid's like, I want this. See restaurant out the window. I want this, sees restaurant out the window. I want this, sees restaurant out the window. And mom and dad are like, there's food at home. There's food at home. There's food at home. And then they get home and they order DoorDash. Which, like, yes, give people jobs. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. That's a good choice. But you could have just stopped on your way. Like, maybe not on a train. But you could have just stopped on your way. There's, like, I think at least 2 scenes. More than anything else where people are in a car. Hello, Boya. You're just thinking of that commercial when you said that. Thank you. Does it bother you as well? So I cannot be the only one? Oh my god. It annoys the hell out of me. Like, I don't know. The premise is just, I'm sorry for my verbiage, but fucking retarded. We have food at home. We have food at home. We have food at home. Does not stop to pick up food. Orders at home. Pays taxes and delivery fees plus tip. Which, yes, give people jobs. Keep people working. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. That's marvelous. Boost the economy. Give people good dollars. All of those things. But the premise being we have food at home? No, you don't. Not in the most practical way. I am turning into my father, but like, come on. Come on. Really? Really? Like I'm Jerry Seinfeld? You don't do DoorDash at all, so you're preaching to the choir. I like Grubhub. I'll do Grubhub when I want something that I don't want to go somewhere for. Because that's included in Amazon, so there's no delivery fee. So I'll justify it. Like, that's basically the same minus, like, taxes and whatever other fees that are halved, I think, because of Prime. It's basically the same as just calling the restaurant and ordering a couple dollars more. I can justify it. I can live with that. I can tolerate it. Grubhub is included with Prime. I don't know how to look that up, actually. But it is. They sent me an email for it. So whatever email you have connected to Amazon, it's probably in. But before we snooze out, let's see. Seeky. Seeky Boo. He's so cute. He's so cute. You want him to be your brother? Bye. I think it was supposed to end at the end of this year. And at some point a couple months ago, it was extended to end next year. Because it's a promotion. But a really long-lasting promotion, which is nice. But I think initially it was supposed to end at the end of this year. And then it's extended until next year. That keyboard doesn't work. I guess just Google it? Grubhub is free with Prime. Prime members enjoy unlimited delivery fees, exclusive savings, and more, and eligible orders for free with Grubhub. So I guess just Google it, and the first link is the way. I know, boy, it did get jelly. What I mentioned earlier about, like, the child being upset that they're not going to be the only child anymore. Or the youngest child, or whatever. The oldest child taking care of them, everything, something. Mom, how did you get pregnant again? Why? 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 Isn't there enough going on here? No. Boy is like, come on. There's enough. There's enough. I'm gonna be hanging out with you guys. But the babies, at the very least, need to find homes first before I can foster. I don't even know if I can foster 2 at a time. What is the end date for this? Oh boy, you floofed all over me. I coughed and it floofed everywhere. Oh, I guess there is stipulations. Order subtotal must be $20 before tax, tip, and fees. But honestly, if you're ordering something, is it going to be less than $20 in this economy? No. Oh wait, that's just a special deal. Never mind. That's 10.6 to 10.8. Oh, maybe they didn't put an end on it anymore. Based on savings on delivery fees, lower service fees, and redeemed Grubhub Plus credit for Grubhub Plus members through Amazon Prime nationwide, who placed at least one Grubhub order per month for 12 months. Individual member savings, blah, 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 vary on location, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's sneaky, though. Your Grubhub Plus membership with Amazon Prime will not automatically... Oh, I didn't read not. Never mind. Not sneaky. And do paid, blah, 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 blah. What's the date that it ends, though? Now I'm curious. Doesn't really say it. But yeah, it's included. Today we learned. It's, I guess, the 1st? Or... 2nd. I don't know if that one will let you connect to Prime. Activate now. It probably takes you there. Yep. They should have sent you an email, though. I got an email. And I was pleasantly surprised. Throat feels scratchy. It rained today. I wonder if the weather is going to change again. Well, obviously, it's going to change every day, but... it's obnoxious. It's going to get really cold tonight. Holy shit. Not like really cold, but down to 47. It's going to be really chilly the rest of the week. I'm going to have to turn on the heat. My furnace is, like, safe and efficient now. So it's okay, but it still scares me to turn it on. I don't want to do that. You guys all hold my hand digitally while I do that. I don't want to have to call a repair person for it if it doesn't work. Turn off the fans, turn on the heat. I think it's time. Soon. It'll probably be comfortable the next couple of nights, but it'll be too cold for the babies without running the space heater periodically by probably Friday. And then all the way through next Tuesday. It'll be only up to the high 60s. I might want to try kicking on the heat then, because towards the end of next week, we're going to have some mid-70s, it looks like. So then if it doesn't work, it's not the worst thing in the world. Cross fingers and paws. Which the babies were born about a month ago, and I last changed my furnace filter about a month ago because I try to do it monthly. So it's actually the perfect time to change it in a few days. High five for being a responsible adult. Makes me so upset that that's like the first thing someone asks me when I have a furnace technician out. Did you change the filter? Which I know it's like the IT professional version of like, is it plugged in? Did you turn it on and off again? Do you remember your password? Etc. But it's like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? I don't know. I'm so many stupid about other things that I feel extra offended about things that I'm not stupid about. I got my hot water heater fully working. Nope. That thing's gonna die. I'm gonna have all cold before I replace it. I don't care. It's out of spite at this point. It was out of frugality up until the place called and tried to upsell me while the technician was already late. And since then, it is spite. I will use it till it dies or until I leave. Just take the hot water heater off the asking price. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about it. I'll use it till it dies. I know how much laundry I can do. I know how much dishes I can do. I know how much showering I can take. Spite. It's like low-key spite, though. It's not like actually like affecting my daily life. I don't really think about it when I shower unless I'm like, okay, I need to do the math here of like one load of laundry plus one like half a sink of dishes. So can I wash my hair? Do I have time to shave like before it's too cold, etc. All of those fun things, but outside of that, it's not really upsetting. But after they tried to upsell me, it's perfectly out of spite. I'm not replacing it any sooner than it needs to be. I can boil water. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. People lived without hot water for how many years? I could live without it for a little while if I needed to. The muddy bits of the end. That was really good though. I'm glad I bought that. But next time I need either not sweet matcha or not sweet mleko. One of the two. Because it just tastes too Starbucksy. And that's fun. But I want a drink, not a treat. If I wanted a dessert, I would be eating dessert. This is like desserty to me. It's too sweet. Sitting here chewing your tea, of course you can live without a water Don't need no water here, around here. I use chew power to heat my hydrations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, what am I running into? That's how we know it's bedtime. Oh, I just bumped the art box thing. It sounded a lot more intense than it needed to be. And that's okay. Thank you all for a wonderful night, Club Cult. Thank you for being the wonderful humans that you are. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your chats. I forgot to upcount. Oh my god. Start screaming at me that I'm not writing names. I'm not quite in the habit of doing that again yet. And we gotta yell at me. Yell at me. My repentance should be writing on my forehead. Serena Boomhauer cosplay when Harley Boomhauer. Dang old man on Batman. No, he doesn't as much. I'm putting like ghetto white trash girl into it. Too much. Ow, that hurts one of my teeth. I have two teeth that feel weird sometimes. My dentist swears that they're fine, but they feel weird sometimes. Like that bothers that one, and then occasionally if I chew really weird, or like, I don't know, really chewy food. I shouldn't even say chew really weird. Chew primarily on this side, or really chewy food. One of my teeth feels weird all the way in the back over here. But supposedly they're fine. But I overthink these things. I don't feel like exposing something like air and suction constantly is probably good for it though. Whoop. Oh god. Harley Boomhauer would be interesting. Would I need the leopard swimsuit bottoms? Would that need to be happen? I almost constantly keep my teeth clenched, which is a horrible habit. A horrible, 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 horrible habit. Don't ever get into that habit. It makes your jawline like toned as fuck, which is nice. I got some muscles in that bitch. Isn't that crazy? My doctors are always surprised. Like when you do like the basic like that kind of like checkup, I don't know, like an annual physical. They're always surprised that my jaw is so strong. I grind my teeth while I sleep. I'm sure I clench my teeth while I'm sleeping. While I'm driving or cleaning house, I notice it the most that I'm actively like gritting my mouth without meaning to. But I'm sure I do it a lot more than that as well. I feel like that has a lot to it too, though. Quite often I'll check and make sure everyone's still attached in there and not wiggly. They're in there. Got x-rays to prove them. I got x-rays to prove I don't have extras again, which is nice because I'm a shark and I used to grow extra teeth, but I haven't in a while, which is good. Hi, baby boy. There's one side of my mouth that it's the bottom left. Voya says, "Get the fuck off the computer, lady." I had 5 wisdom teeth, so I had 2 extra. Or I had 1 extra on that side. There was 2 down there. And there's some weird scar tissue because of it. And I became anxious and convinced over time that I had another wisdom tooth coming in. But x-rays confirmed that I didn't, thankfully. But I was worried about that. And my dentist that I went to was like, huh? I was like, just trust me on this one, please, okay? Like, I don't have my childhood dental records. But I grew extra teeth fragments without roots multiple times. And I had an extra wisdom tooth. Which supposedly having an extra wisdom tooth is proof of Neanderthal lineage. Because back in Neanderthal times, when Neanderthals existed, they had 2 sets of wisdom teeth. Like, to help grind things down more. Which I think is very interesting. That's why I have a really big forehead. Just channeling my inner caveman. That's why I love nature and fear things that are large and flying at me so much. It's potential danger. It's danger. I clench my teeth all the fucking time, though. The only time I really don't notice that I do it, and I kind of mentally check every once in a while because I'm aware of my expression, is on stream. It might just because I'm jacking. It might just be because I'm jacking my jaws the majority of the time, but I feel like that's a positive thing. Hey, baby boy. It means you guys don't give me anxiety. So otherwise I'm like constantly anxious, and that's why I do it. I think. I don't know. I'm holding myself tense, which... What other reason other than anxiety would I have for that? Ooks and grunts from here on out. Oof. Oh. Oh. Club cult. Ooh ha ha. Are you giving kisses? Okay. Mommy will get your stuff together. I know we gotta be up early. We gotta be early birdies. We gotta be early birdies. You do it when you're focused. That makes sense. I notice it the most when I'm, like I said, driving or cleaning, and that's very focused. That's very interesting. I wonder at the overlap of that, of like a healthy amount of, I don't know, like people just do different things while they're focused. Like I have friends that'll like stick out their tongue when they're really focused on something. Sure, an old car truck with a V8 will hear the grunts. Oh God. I can't help it. I can't help it. Ha ha ha. I can't do the best Tim Allen impression, but oh God, I love an old car truck. Just the V8 is so nice. It's so nice and clean. I was actually driving behind. I've been so tired lately. I don't even know where I was or what I was doing. Oh, I was dropping off labs at the Loyola thingy. I really like how their lab is set up versus Northwestern. It's way more like human and mentally friendly. It's very well done. But I was driving home and I was behind an old Chevy and it was a very, very healthy little V8. Like, oh my God, this baby. This baby. But at Northwestern, you would like take a ticket when you would get into like the lab portion. Like you take a ticket and you sit down and you wait for your ticket to be called, like at the deli. And you go to a window when you're called and then you get checked in. And then you sit on the other side of the waiting room with your ticket and you wait to be called. And there's like a little airport scroller that shows each ticket and like your name and like waiting in line, and like it's very awkward. Literally, you just talk to someone and sit down and wait. I feel like that's much more human. I like it. I prefer that. The other one was very awkward. I didn't know what I was doing the first time. Like, there's no instruction manual for this. Then I was waiting to be told that I needed to do something or I was fucking up at Loyola, but no, it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm grateful for that. That was so dumb though. Like, this is not the DMV. This is not a deli. Don't give me ticket numbers. Don't do that. Life is hard enough. Don't make me be at a deli right now. My dad used to abandon... I think this is like a trauma thing. Like, lowest low-key as possible. My dad used to abandon me at the deli when we were at the grocery store. So You would go in, and there's like snackies for the first chunk that you walk in. There's soda pop, there's like little cakes and cookies and things, there's chips, like just junk food. Like you're hungry when you're going into a grocery store, so things that you will impulsively buy. Go a little bit further in, there's the deli. So lunch meat, cheese, all that good stuff. Some like little smoothies in the little side cooler, whatever it is. And then you go forward and there's like the vegetables and produce section. So all the fruits and everything are over there. And then like the bread in the aisles further on, and the meat and dairy all the way at the end. So if there's a really long line at the deli, my dad would have me pull a ticket and wait there. And then he would take the cart and go start getting things from the grocery list. Because that's efficient, right? Like that's a good idea. That's a smart choice. Well, I am socially awkward and I don't like being left alone. And holding that ticket and trying to remember, this is before like phones, lists, on the phone. I was a teenager. I wasn't going to write it out on paper. My dad had the grocery list. Trying to remember like a third pound of this, a quarter pound of that, a half pound of that. By the time my name gets called, good God. And if there's a really long line, like I would be embarrassed because he would get like half the groceries before I would even be up to bat. This is the vegan origin story right here. No, I actually got roped in by PETA. I wasn't allowed to be vegan at first because my dad was like, I'm not cooking for you, but you still need to eat things, which means you need to eat like side dishes and stuff like that. I was like, okay. Got it. It is what it is. Cheese is good. That sounds fantastic. But I got into like all of the PETA videos and learning how meat is processed and things like that. And I was like, no fucking way. I wouldn't eat my cat. I'm not eating a cow. So I kind of brainwashed myself a little bit with that one. But going vegan was purely a personal challenge that I enjoyed. I was like, wow, I'm a really unhealthy vegetarian. Let's try to make things a little harder and force yourself to eat healthy things, like other than convenience things like pizza and mac and cheese. And that was a good choice. I'm proud of that one. The vegan origin story. I don't mind being around like meat and dairy products and things. It's just I didn't like waiting in line at the deli. Like, I was wondering if it was a Midwest elementary school field trip to a slaughterhouse. No, only the videos that I watched of them because access to the internet existed at that point in time. I learned a lot that like I could not stomach if I decided to watch now. I was brave. I don't know. Jane Goodall did just pass away. I watched her little interview that I'd like to share it on stream, but there's some what could be seen as controversial parts that I don't know, I'd like to watch it together, but there are some parts that can be seen as controversial. Let's just say that. I don't want to cause a fuss with anyone, but I enjoyed it. It was very well done. She recorded it with it to be released right after her death. She was amazing. When we learned about Coco the gorilla, we learned about her as well and all of her work. And when I was in my anthropology class, I learned about her as well. Like her advancements to comparison of society and humanity. She was a good human. She was a very good human. She got some amazing footage. It's really very impressive, the compassion that she had for not just animals, but the world. I don't think I could have that much compassion for the world. I don't think I could be as accepting as she allowed herself to be gracefully. Much admiration. She was remarkable. She's an amazing human. Rip. She was an amazing human. No, we did not go on a Midwestern elementary trip to the slaughterhouse. We did go to the cadaver lab at Northwestern University. My junior year of high school. I'm trying to remember what color hair I had. And that was cool, but it sobered my mentality of like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to be a vet at that point. And I did end up going to school later on to be a veterinary technician's assistant. which is much different than a vet tech. It's basically just holding the animal. Like, you don't administer, like, anything other than, you know, like, a couple of ear jobs. You don't do shots or anything like that. You're a basic bitch. You know things, but you do nothing other than, like, just hold the animal and know that you can't get sued if it bites you. But we went there to the cadaver lab, and it was really cool. It didn't freak me out at all. And it was all dead people, and they were all, like, sectioned out, like, cut open, like, peeled apart, back, like, fully autopsied. Like, some of them you could see, like, different parts on, like, their sensitive parts were covered up, but you could see, like, in the chest cavity, or, like, point out what this is or point out what that is, and there were a bunch of things in, like, jars being preserved and whatnot. And I felt like I was way too comfortable there. Like, I have the heart to work with animals, but I don't have the heart to work on animals. I don't have the heart to work with people, but I have the heart to work on people, I think. So I probably would have been an amazing surgeon, but that would have been a horrible, horrible path to take. Because I don't give a fuck about people. Like, I do if I love you, but, like, what, am I going to love the whole world? Probably not. Let's just be logical here. I'm going to love every cat that I meet. I'm not going to love every person. I can't help it. An animal wrestler. That I am. I could do that. I don't want to be a human wrestler. I have no patience for that. None. None whatsoever. I found that very interesting, though. And I found it very interesting also, not as, like, a cocky thing, but just as a, like, how are we raised so differently? Like, my dad and his brothers had a much harder childhood than I did. Yet, my uncle, my dad's oldest brother, left medical school his first year. He ended up going back a few years later to, like, be a chiropractor and all that. But he left medical school his first year because he couldn't handle being around the cadavers. And it's like, how can I handle this, but you can't? I don't know, it's interesting. See, I agree, it would make me a good surgeon to be emotionally detached. Like, I expect doctors to have a bedside manner. I expect anyone who's a specialist or cutting me open to be very objective. Like, X marks the spot. Like, this is what we're going for. I don't care about you as a person. I care about making your organs perfectly how they need to be. All of that good stuff. But I don't know. If something went wrong, I don't think I could be emotionally compassionate enough to be like, to sit down and have that conversation with people, which I guess, like, you have other people on your team that do that for you, but I would feel that as a personal responsibility, but I don't think I would execute it properly. But I do think I would be a good surgeon if I would have gone to school for that and actually, like, heavily trained for it. Because somehow I can emotionally detach, and it's weird. I don't understand that. I think of myself as, like, a very, like, emotional, empathetic, like, loving person. And bodies don't freak me out. I don't understand. I don't understand. I would be a terrible GP. I would fire me. I would walk out on me. I've walked out on a handful because they just literally are, like, I don't know, doctor zombies. Don't listen to a word you have to say. Don't have an ounce of empathy. No bedside manner. And it's like, fuck, you want me to work with you? Like, no. My body, my choice. Goodbye. Goodbye. Need a step stool to get to the operating table, though. Well, isn't it? I don't know. I was probably asleep anytime it was lowered or tollered, but I would assume it lowers or tollers. I don't know. I know they yell at you if you get off of it. Because I always try to, without thinking, get off of the CT scan machine first. Before it's all the way down. And they're like, wait, hold on. Like, oh yeah. Insurance risk. Sorry. I'll wait. Alright, boss man. I hear your silent words. I hear you. I'll just wear my heels. How's that? Step stool, heels, same difference. Club Cult. Deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much for a wonderful night. What is that? You've heard that 1,000 times. Why are you being so saucy? See, no more big sounds. It's bedtime. Thank you all for a wonderful night. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your chats. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being you wonderful human beings. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your chats. Thank you for your company. And thank you for your support. Your time is very valuable. And it's not free. It is this finite thing. So whether it is 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, if I don't see you again for 2 years, when our times collide, it is beautiful, magical, amazing, and incredible. I am the most grateful girly. And thank you for being yous. Aw, thank you. I hope you get some good sleeps tonight, too. I hope everybody gets the best good rest. And the best good eats, too, if that's where you're heading. The zoo does need me charged up. Tomorrow we got vet appointments, we got dewormer, we got booby squitching. We got all kinds of things going on. Oh my god. It's gonna be an interesting one. I shall report back on how it goes. Oh god. Be like hobbling onto stream on Thursday. What Harley would that be? Unfortunately not boob job Harley. That would be cool though. Oh my god. If you guys want to keep up with me offline, hop into the Disky Boo. Otherwise we got the fun stuff. The socials. Some old fun stuff. And the sketch for when I will see you Bebs next. And thank you all more than anything for supporting the Stream the Dreams project. You wonderful human beings. Where's my emote button? Where is my button? Why is that different on there than on here? Oh, that's such a bitch. I'm lazy. Your recently used emotes does not carry over from pop-out chat to... Oops. FOIA. From the main dash to pop-out chat. Oh my goodness. Abstain from sandwiches in your honor. Oh, if you need a sandwich, have a sandwich. Don't starve on my account. I'm not that kind of cult leader. Come on now. Come on now. Can I go up far enough to find my pinned? That would be nice if so. I'd like to save it for another day. Yes. There you are. Okay. We are prepared. It kind of about as prepared as we're gonna get. There we go. But yeah, say goodnight to everybody. Say thank you for cookies and the nights. Say thank you. It's like, oh yes, tug those ears. Tug those ears. So far, I have not yet met a cat that does not like ear tugs. Wait, no, that's a lie. Gunther doesn't like ear tugs. Gunther can't do ear tugs. It's too much for him. Alright, do me one favor until I see you Bibs next, and that is, remember that you are wonderful, amazing, spectacular, fantastic, phenomenal, and all of the good things in the world. Wow, this is frizzy. Thank you all for supporting and celebrating Harley-tober with me. Tonight was a bit more casual, but I'm trying to get the little kittens used to the new look. So take all those compliments and put them in your back pocket, your side pocket, your cute little hoodie pocket, your adorable little shirt pocket, floating in suspended animation, wherever it needs to go. Until I see you next, you sweet bubbos. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your night. Get some good sleeps, get some good eats. I hope your Serena day tomorrow is absolutely marvelous and everything you need it to be. And I shall catch you babes for the next one. Thank you for being used, and I will see you soon.